I'm calling the July 1st Library Board of Trustees meeting to order at 5:32. 5:32, thank you. Attendance, roll call. Lauren? Here. Karen? Here. Donna?
Yes, here.
Laura Mars here. Patrick? Absent.
Did you look to see on participants whether he's zoomed in?
I see 5 participants.
No, you have to go into participants over their attendees. And no, he's not
He's
there,
not,
so they're
okay.
all fine.
Okay. And in the audience, we have Holly, a member of Friends. Holly. So now,
Online, we have Eileen Mooney,
right,
Bob
online,
Braddock, and who else?
and Marie Lobert.
Yeah.
Lobel.
Okay, thanks.
So now we're up to the minutes.
So do we have an approval of minutes for June 10th of 2026? Do we have a motion to approve minutes?
So move.
Second.
You have a second?
I second it.
Okay.
Yeah. Any comments? Here he is.
So let the record show that Patrick.
It's my first time, so.
walked in.
Second.
We were just looking at the minutes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Are there any corrections?
I thought they were pretty thorough.
Does Holly have a copy too, or
I don't know. Yeah, I think she does.
your copy? Okay.
Looks like, you don't think they.
Okay, so vote to approve the minutes. Let's see, how do we do this? Laura,
Aye.
Sharon,
Aye.
Donna,
Aye.
Aye.
Pat, Lauren, aye.
Yes.
Unanimous. So chair report, the main chair report is that Laura and I, just can't stop seeing each other. We've been officially meeting, every Monday morning, and unofficially a whole bunch more, just, one, trying to get our bearings on this part of our job now. And also, just discussing a lot of the kinds of things that, some of which we'll be discussing tonight, but, just in general going forward.
And we plan to continue that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Monday,
Oh,
it's the standing meeting, Monday, 9:30.
And, if, we met with Donna, we met with Pat, if anybody ever wants to, we can do 3 of us. There's something that
Can do
you
3.
have,
Right.
On your mind, you wanna talk about, we can do that.
So next, under chair report, is the town manager memo dated June 11th. There's a copy of it online that was sent around, but there's also a copy. It looks like this. It's, it looks like town manager. I did not copy all of the other town procedures and operations that Liz did attach to this to show us how other towns did it. but I certainly have we all actually have a copy of that. But for our purposes tonight, we are asked to comment. And once we do, I will compile our comments and send them to her. She's asking for our comments. And if you look, there is a library trustee participation page. And so she is asking how we feel about the timeline, the governance structure, role of the building committee, and any other recommendations that we might have. So we'll go around the table and see if anyone has any comments to that.
Yeah, I heard this when she presented it to the select board at their meeting. And I thought that she incorporated John's information and her own research well, and that it was a logical process. So I'm full support of it.
Donna?
Are we, being asked to consider the project timeline? So should we be considering the project timeline here as a group?
We're being asked to comment on it.
Consider the project timeline.
Yeah.
And all of these from governance structure, role of the building committee.
Right.
So I don't know the project timeline.
Well, it's here. It's in here. It's all in here.
And I admit, I read the entire thing, but that was weeks ago, so I
Right.
read it again before we got here, so.
Well, this is my turn.
Okay, so,
So it's in here. Okay. And in her packet,
Right, it says the current anticipated timeline is as follows. It's on page 2 of the memo. There are no dates, but there are things that need to be completed.
so
You see that it's
no,
bulleted.
because you
It
know what?
says C.
So but my problem is the pages are not numbered. And
Okay,
yeah, so we're looking at her memo.
her memo, which is stapled together, page 2 of her memo at the top. And
it
she's
looks like, it looks like some of your pages got.
I
That's done.
printed my printer. Okay. Okay, the current anticipated timeline is as follows. Okay, we do know the dates of these, don't we? Like, wasn't it stated that we had until December?
Yeah, so the completion of the alternatives, study review needs to be in by the last day of December.
Okay,
So,
is it
that's
in
done.
already? Because we looked at it last time. Was it sent in right away?
It's already been, well,
Yes, Dawn will report on that when we talk about the Ramsdale Building Committee and under that. But yes, that has been done, cover letter done, and sent to all appropriate parties.
and
alternative
but
study.
then, and then it's the end of the year that everyone who got that, right, needs to respond. And you might have to have all these other things for the end of the year, but that was the
But
first thing.
the first
and that's
thing
already done.
submitted, which we did.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then the memorandum of agreement among participating parties, and the participating parties are, is that
That
the,
is the end of the alternative studies process, and that has to be completed. The MOU has to be signed before we can move forward. So that is what we have until the end of December to do.
we do not have to write the MOU, we just have to sign the MOU?
The MOU is likely to be developed between Mass Historical Commission and the town as the recipient of the grant, right?
Right, we're not,
We're not the signatory.
the trustees do not.
Should I sign?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and I guess maybe the way that this is is written is not quite right, because it seems like there's a timeline with all times for each of these things. But this is the list of things that need to be done in this order.
And I think that's what she's
Exactly.
asking.
That's,
Is there
It's just,
anything
these
that
need to be done in this
needs to be
Right, that's
Well
what we're
done.
looking at,
What
the
is the
order.
specific
This is the
date?
order, these things are gonna happen in.
Okay, and so far, we don't have to do anything.
No, no, no. We just have to look and sort of confirm, yes, the alternative study has to be reviewed and submitted to MHC, and that was done. After that, once that's done, the execution of the MOU is generated. Then we need a detailed construction cost of the project, which is tied into the MBLC determination of the final grant award. So these happen sort of, I guess, in tandem, but after the MOU. This is just the order of things.
I understand, okay.
And it's really not that the order of things needs to change. I'm sure what she's asking is there anything you think needs to be added?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm new here, so, I'm wondering, the CPC is consideration of local funding authorization. I'm thinking CPC funding, because seems to be our local funding potential source. And MBLC will determine the final grant award amount.
Local funding is also, the town bonding numbers. I mean, there's many places that there could be local funding. There can also be contributions from fundraisers.
Okay.
But I don't think we're supposed to be getting into specifics on this.
I'm just curious about what the funding sources are, and specifically whether we need to amend or rewrite an application to the CPC, or is the one
Maybe,
that's on
yeah,
But
hold?
that's not
That is not
part
this.
of this, though.
That's not.
That's not
Okay.
part of this.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, and we should do it.
okay, so let's not forget.
Right.
That's not,
That's
yeah,
That's definitely on the
October.
list. That's
October,
definitely
November?
on the list.
It's October, November.
But yes. But as far as I can tell,
Well, Doug,
These-
she incorporated a lot of information that you sent her as well. Yes, and so when you were.
I'm sorry, what's that?
Did you feel that it was?
You have this one?
Yeah, I dropped my.
Yes.
Home.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the timeline and that information comes directly from Andrea.
Right.
mhm.
And I didn't see anything, I thought it was a very good process that she was laying out. I thought that it,
So,
I'm kind of confused as to what Donna said, because it seems to me that even when Liz came to that first CPC meeting, she was like unaware we were applying, how did we apply and everything else. So the thing is, I think at some point, this is not a bad place to get more information. We got to apply for CPC. The town, I sent Liz, probably in December, but there's 250,000 available for the elevator. But it's a process, time has to go through.
Right.
I sent her something, never got a response to that. I sent her something for historic money, in March, never got, so the thing is.
So our comments back
Right, so I'm
are,
saying.
we would like more detail, or we would like your response to.
Well, we need the money, I mean, it's not. It's
Right,
just-
but you are suggesting different,
It's imperative we get some money from these other outside groups, because everybody's asking, where are you getting the money from? Let's tell them. It's it's disability thing, it's a historic thing, and it's government appropriations. I think we operate in secrecy, right? Nobody knows, tell them this is what we need,
right.
and let her take it out if she doesn't like it, but.
Well, aren't we clarifying, that, well, what are our responsibilities here? Consideration of local funding authorization, including town meeting action and any required debt exclusion vote in 2027. It seems to me that there's a lot for us to be aware of and advocate for between now and October for the CPC.
Right.
Okay, so would we want to give that as feedback that we will be reapplying or reenacting the CPC that's on hold, the application that's been on
We
hold?
have to rewrite it.
We have to rewrite it.
Right.
Okay, so let's tell her we're gonna rewrite an application to the CPC. And the reason I think that that's important is because if she's behind the project and if she thinks the CPC is a good place for us to get funding, she can be influential with the CPC. Wouldn't you agree?
One would hope.
Well, yeah, she's influential with every committee, so yeah. I know they're tough nuts, but. Okay, so we'll be rewriting the application to the CPC, and that's due when, October?
They changed.
It changes. I looked,
Yeah.
actually, I looked for that.
It's in October.
It's in October.
And that's,
Yeah.
so, and then something happens in November.
There are two meetings.
There are two parts to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
first they
parts to
determine
the-
eligibility and then they discuss the merits. So they have the two meetings after the submission.
Right.
One's in November, one's in December.
Okay, discussion. And is there a lot to do to rewrite that document?
Well,
That
we'll have- I think we should talk about this memo from this
Yeah.
right now
Yeah.
and make that a separate topic.
Okay.
So I think basically, right, we're looking at this and we're reviewing it, but we can add to it, which is, that's what we're
Well,
doing.
that's what we're giving her our comments, and that's
Right,
part
so
of it.
there's
That's one
I
thing.
mean, I
Okay,
think
anything else?
You're right, you're gonna write, the two, your co-chairs, you're gonna write a cover letter back.
Right,
a
right.
note back. So
That's,
first-
right,
First, we should talk about what she asked us to talk about.
right.
And then we could list, maybe Pat could send the information that he wants to consider, we can mention CPC. But I think we
Right.
should do what, I mean, I didn't see anything that was omitted. I thought that it was pretty comprehensive.
Well, but we will cover that, though. You know, we'll cover that in our response.
And isn't the execution of the MBLC grant agreement after town meeting approves local funding?
Well,
That again?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Will the MBLC agree to grant the money after the town meeting
Yes.
approves?
Right.
And when the cost has been established? Because
The cost will be
The cost
established
should be
before
established.
town meeting,
okay,
yes.
And then NBLC uses those cost estimates
yes,
to determine how big the grant is.
after town meeting, okay.
and so that's how she has this, the timeline, right? That she
Right,
has
and
the
that's the
timeline.
order of things.
That's the order.
Okay, I'm just looking at days and months, because I think it puts us under some kind of timeline to produce.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so I don't know,
Right.
so I'm
But I
asking.
don't
Right.
think we're gonna give Liz these months.
Oh, no,
right?
no,
I mean,
no, I'm not.
okay.
I think
Good.
our job is to just comment and say, yes, we agree that this is the timeline
And that.
and whatever. And then part of, I'm sorry, and then
And
part of our
then-
comments is, right, part of, I think, as you said, first we respond back to her, answering her questions.
Okay.
She's given us what she wants to hear from us, right?
Okay.
And then we'll say, in addition,
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say, this is the page on.
This is the page,
Library
right.
trustee participation.
right,
And she lays out what she's expecting from us right now.
right. So the project timeline, we are all in agreement with the timeline, regardless of what those actions or the individual actions are. We are in agreement with how they are timed, the schedule of that.
Okay,
Right?
understood.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So the governance structure and the role of the building committee, that's how I read this. And the building committee, again, there is the next, also on here is that information,
The charter is.
the charter for the building committee.
One of the things, I know that it has been made clear that the grant requires it, but I don't think it referred to repeat that in governance structure, that the library director and the two trustees
Have to be
have
on
to
that
be
committee,
members of
yes,
whatever building committee is.
right,
And I just think it bears
repeating, absolutely, yeah, no, absolutely.
So that's under the, Ramsdale Building Committee membership. We would
Yep.
make a recommendation.
Yeah, and you see that the Ramsdale Building Committee, right, the governance is here.
I mean, really, most of this is questions that need to be addressed, right? So is she asking for our input, do you think, on the questions?
She might be asking, what do the trustees see as the role of the trustees versus and with the roles of the building committee? To me, that's what that means. And on the agenda for January 6th, they have July 6th,
right,
Yeah,
they have, consider and possibly vote on, reappointing myself, Pat, and John Nelson to the committee.
right, because the other two members
They were on till,
are until 27.
You know, I saw in the charter of the building committee, and I know we all talked about it disbanding June 30th, and I didn't see
it's
where
not
that.
happening.
It's
though.
not happening.
I know it's not
Right,
happening,
right.
but I also didn't see where it was written that it should happen.
that was a misunderstanding, I think, between
Right.
a former trustee and the town.
Okay, so it was never really gonna have to end.
Right,
Got it.
It probably would have ended if we had a 2-year waiting period, right? But everything's different now.
oh, for the grant, you mean?
Yes.
Yes, right.
Okay.
And you know,
So I guess I'm asking a question then about the role of the trustees moving forward in governance. Are we comfortable that the two trustees and the library director carry forward the voice of the board? I mean, the building committee is going to run the project, I mean, we know that.
right,
So the question is how much, I mean, do we want to ask her to consider a process by which the trustees would have time to, you know, read and reflect on or offer some suggestions on larger things, or are we just going to
Well, I
give
think
it
that
over? I don't.
what the building committee has been doing all along is reporting to us, right? Pat, I mean, you and Ruby were on the committee. And, there was a report to the board every month, right? So I think going forward, it would be the same thing. You're still on it, so there's gonna be one more trustee on there.
Mhm.
Right, and then they still need a DPW person
Or somebody else.
or somebody else. Well,
thought
she's
she
got
was going to
DPW here
repopulate.
specifically.
Right.
But I think we discussed that it might not be a DPW
Right.
person, it could be someone else. But I don't know, I think that's up to the select board to
Yeah,
choose
I-
that
I
person,
knew
so,
It is.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because we didn't have any role in populating.
Right.
That committee.
Right.
The town manager, it had happened through the town manager's office and select board.
And in fact, I don't know, they're considering at this meeting reinstating the 3 people who were already on it, but doesn't say anything about them,
We would have to have. another
choosing
trustee.
another, right, and it's like, do we add that trustee or does the select board?
No, they took it under advisement.
we suggest,
Okay. All right. But that's not really part of this, but I'm wondering when we're supposed to suggest it, and if that, is that gonna come up at the select board?
I do
think-
think,
They want to vote to make it in.
I think she's asking us to come in and govern it, so we should know that there need to be two trustees. Right now, there's only one being considered for reappointment, so we'd like a second one
Right.
to be named.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
So we would have to vote on it.
Mhm.
Yeah. And when is that?
And I
select
think
board
we'll
meeting?
sort of, Monday.
Oh, shit. So we can do that today.
Yeah, and so, and one of the things that we're gonna talk about is liaisons to boards. Anyway, so that will be part of it.
Can we vote, or should we be voting on who the other representative from trustees?
Well, we should just,
We should.
They're advisory. I mean, we can just,
Advise?
opinion, yeah. we can-
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure that we need a vote for it.
I don't think it's a vote. I mean, you're on the committee,
Yeah.
and then is there someone else that?
And remember that it's under the chair's purview to appoint people to committees. So you don't vote.
You don't vote.
But you can certainly ask.
If anyone is interested.
But it's
Yeah,
up to you
right,
to
that's,
decide.
that's the plan.
Right.
But as far as this is concerned, do we have, I mean, with the things that we've been talking about, everybody's making notes, if we've got it, we'll have it in the minutes. Do we need to actually vote though on our recommendations?
We don't vote, no.
Okay,
I think
so, but I mean,
you're
do we need some
seeking
kind of
input,
Right,
consensus?
we just,
It's
I
on
mean,
the
we want to
agenda.
know if anybody's, we're asking if anybody is interested.
Well,
Is anybody
We didn't get to that yet. But
We didn't
okay,
get to that yet, but
Okay,
you're asking for feedback on the memo.
Yeah,
Because
that's
you
what
are
I'm
writing the trustee response,
exactly,
but it's not something you vote on, we just come to a
right,
consensus.
okay, right.
all right.
So I definitely would remind her that you use another trustee
In our response,
in
exactly,
your response.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes,
And.
yes, and we'll make a recommendation based on the.
So do we have any, so that, do we have any other comments on the governance structure? I mean, it seems like,
Well, I think beyond governance structure and billing committee, go to the next part of that sentence.
yeah,
But she does say, approach future decisions concerning funding.
right,
So this was her complaint during the CPC, that we didn't have anything that she was looking at. So I think we should just give it, it's pretty boilerplate what we need.
right.
They need to know this because they're supposed to be running some of these grants. So it's important that they know this for their workflow.
I think it
So-
might be nice to include the information in your memo. if you
Right,
have time.
that's what, exactly,
Right.
exactly.
So
That's what-
Pat could send you the things he sent and.
So are you suggesting, Pat, that we include in our feedback to Liz the items that you were listing about funding
Funding,
sources,
yeah.
like the ADA is 250,000, and then I didn't get the other numbers. But should that be included in feedback to Liz? These are sources of funding,
These we
Yeah,
anticipate.
the town.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because I think that it should be known that we're trying everything we can to fund this thing before we ask the people like.
Yeah.
Well,
But do we write the grants?
Well, no, for
No.
example, the disability grant, no. It's a municipal thing and it's gotta come from probably Chris.
Okay.
So they need to know that now.
But
Mhm.
Patrick, can you send me, you mentioned certain things, the
Yeah,
ADA,
yeah.
can you just
Yeah.
email those to me? Thank you.
Do you remember what you said?
Yeah, well,
Us, to us,
CPC,
email to us.
CPC, yeah, I think the ADA.
We're one now.
historical,
We are, it's the
government-
L's, the
government.
L's.
L to the second.
L's the second power. Okay. Any
That was
other
such a-
comments? Any other comments to Liz
On governance?
regarding this memo?
Oh my God, we haven't gotten through it. How it's going to be delivered, governed and funded. I think we've got the funded thing, right? The ADA, historical, the CPC, the government appropriation, governed. Do we need to review governance? The libraries, I mean, it is what it is. It's not gonna
We
change.
just did,
Charter.
and we just talked about the governance.
I heard our conversation about the RBC. This looked like a different question to me. How will it be governed?
I got page for you on that.
I'm on, they're actually numbered.
Library trustee participation.
That's the case for all.
Oh,
That's for the page we're all on.
okay, and I'm on page 2 of this memo. Okay, so there are 2 pages here that were,
So that one is 3 paragraphs.
yeah,
This one.
yeah, I got that, yeah.
Governance structure, we just talked about the structure of the committee.
The RBC.
Yes,
That's,
That's what we're
Okay, I
talking about, right.
thought it was governance of the libraries.
oh, no,
No, it says
no,
role
this
of
is
the building
all
committee.
role of the building. This is,
Okay.
we're all talking,
All right.
all of this is relevant to the building.
Thank you for the
Um,
clarification.
And then any other, yes,
oh, I just wanted to say something
go ahead.
about, as the town, I don't actually know, as the town approaches future decisions concerning funding, design, procurement, and implementation, I'm not sure how, I mean, that's where I think we have an opportunity either to say we're going to charge our 2 trustees and the library director with that, but or we could say we'd like to be invited to
Oh, to
significant
participate in the,
meetings
Yeah,
if possible. I don't know if we want that. But are we saying that the MBLC considers the library director to be the
The last-
project manager?
For the last phase, yes, they did specifically say that. I don't think we're gonna know what they consider until we get to that contract.
okay, but
Yeah.
I think we're jumping the gun a bit, only
Yeah.
because, Liz, this whole memo has to do with the building committee, not necessarily Ramsdale. I mean, they haven't even made that decision yet as far as whether or not the reimagined building committee will be a town building committee or just for the Ramsdale. So it's really hard to comment on these until we know what their
I
thinking
agree.
is.
I can think of an example.
Mhm.
For example, if there is, say, a question about the CEC, who are they going to direct that question to? Will it be to the trustees who will be
Right.
applying for it? Will it be to me? Will it be to the building committee? I think that's the kind of
I
thing
see.
that she's asking here, right? What,
Oh, I see. Yeah,
right?
Well,
yeah.
I think if it's something specific to the construction, renovation, whatever you're doing here, that we should ask that the memo be sent to you with CCs to the 2 trustees. And then it's your, that it's all, whoever's on the committee, you share
They
it
have
to
to
the
share it,
trustees.
yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. That
So
makes-
that's a structure,
Right,
right?
that's a
That's
structure.
a way of handling questions that come up, whether it's funding or design or whatever.
Right,
it is.
right.
Yes,
So that's so we can handle it with communication structure.
right.
yes.
Yeah, that makes
So it would come to me and the
Chairs.
trustee liaisons,
Right.
and then we would
Right.
share it with you. In other words, the building committee is not going to make those decisions.
Right.
Right?
But isn't that how it is now?
No, it hasn't been. that way.
It hasn't been that way?
But this is a good way to structure it.
In addition to what he said, he's what, 15 years ago?
20.
Yeah.
20.
Well, the one for the school, which we're talking about, but the entire process. My memory is that they hired a librarian after the board had it amended. So the librarian, it was not, was involved in a construction, et cetera. But the was building committee, but it was very ineffective, I think.
Mhm.
And so who really basically took over town attorney.
I think that the structure we just talked about, though, is productive and effective.
Exactly.
Right. Right. Okay. So again, that seems to me to cover project oversight as the town
Yes.
approaches future decisions.
Right.
And in addition to our comments will compile the comments and include the funding sources or where we're looking for and the importance on that.
Yeah, I think that's a priority concern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be.
So
Right, should be.
on that list, should we be including, the 501(c)(3)s like MBLC, should be including the Friends? And what fundraising capacities do the trustees have?
We're
We're
not
not
allowed to fundraise.
You know, there's something in the town bylaws that was very confusing.
We're not
about-
allowed to fundraise, but we are to,
Accept donations.
Well, we can, according to state ethics commission, remember we went through this?
yes.
State ethics believes that we can solicit funds so long as those donations are deposited to the town account. But state ethics commission said local customs and ordinances may override their reading. So while Mark Kopensky was still town manager, we went to David Dinesky. And now both of those people are gone.
Right.
So David Dinesky, it confirmed his understanding to be the same as state ethics. But we now have a new person in Cape Law and we have a new town manager.
Right.
So it's a conversation.
It's a-
we're gonna
it's
have with her, because she has some different ideas of separation of fundraising from employees. So
Right.
and elected officials. So I think that's something, I think you might include that in this section, and we want to engage in a
That's a good
thorough
idea.
conversation.
And we also, just relevant to this, Lauren and I did reach out to the town manager, asked for a meeting, and she responded to us. And she said, give me some dates next week. This was 2 weeks ago. We gave her some dates for this week. And we never heard back from her. So, but I do think it was encouraging to me that she responded, and we will just continue to try. And I do have a list of issues, to bring up with her, but I was encouraged that she responded.
He asked for dates and you gave her dates and she never got back.
Never got back. Yeah.
So I don't know if that's Natalie.
Well, both of them were copied. I mean, I copied
Okay.
both Liz and
Right.
Natalie. Yeah.
That's surprising.
We had a special town meeting. and
Yeah, there was a lot
things
going on.
happened.
There's a lot going on.
Mhm.
So I'm not surprised,
Okay.
actually, but it's not, it won't be dropped. It won't be lost.
Okay,
So,
and we're in a position to pursue it because she might need the tickler reminder.
of course, and I mean, and there's lots of interaction that the trustees and the town manager are doing. There's lots that we're working on together. So, I just think that she's just, we just have to keep at it, just be persistent.
Hmm.
But the longer it goes, the more issues get added to the list,
Mhm. Mhm.
So, but I will.
What is the agenda for that meeting with her?
Well, we have, our agenda is, we have a few things on it now, we have, there are some MOUs that she's sitting on, that's our, with other MOUs that we formulated last couple of meetings between certain groups. There's certainly the Ramsdale Committee. There's the, well, we'll get to
So
the,
yeah, are we getting a little off topic here?
we're getting a little off.
Yeah, I think,
Okay,
let's bring it, yeah.
I'm thinking about the design part, and Sharon had a really good point about design, when we get into this next part. And we may not even need this until after town meeting, but she's asking for feedback. And I wonder if you want to say something like, the trustees will want input into any interior design or design that affects programming and use of the library.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, we can get into a situation like they had in another town that we visited, where the town administration insisted on, a room for a certain
Great
thing.
idea, right?
It didn't work with the library,
Mhm.
and so that room is just sitting there unused.
Right.
Okay, so that might be a comment.
Another, absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay. And if you think of anything else, I'm,
and then there's other things you might not care about,
Sure.
like you might not care about what size I-beams that they're gonna use or
oh,
something,
right.
right? You can
Yeah.
leave that to the building committee and the design team, but when it comes to programming,
Right.
Yes.
We need input.
So I guess what we're saying ultimately though is that we as a board would like to be working pretty closely
Yes.
with the Ramsdale building. Would everybody
In
say that?
general, absolutely.
In general, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. And I think that, yes, she should definitely know that.
Know that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think because there's a lot at stake.
There's a lot of stuff. And certainly, as we close the discussion on this, if there's anything else that comes up, just email us,
Actually, one thing that just comes to mind, we should just at least have it down on paper.
Yeah.
Accessibility parking, I mean, the town is gonna have to get involved in this. So it should just.
It's important, that's an important
Yeah,
issue.
it should be in the
That's for sure.
radar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
considering it a parking, yeah.
So will that be the building committee or will that would be a question?
Exactly,
Right?
exactly.
Who's going to be?
Who will be
addressing what?
responsible to address, because that,
Well, it's
That
one of the things
can't-
that the MBLC is not gonna pay for,
Mhm.
right? So it is gonna be incumbent on the town to,
but aside from that,
Will it be delegated to, will it be delegated to the building committee or will it be a different?
Really should go to Chris Rendell.
I'm guessing that the
planning.
building committee did have conversation about this.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't, it's not that it wasn't under your purview, but it wasn't part of the grant. We talked about all aspects.
Yeah, that was in
Whether
formal
it was-
conversation with the church.
I remember that parking.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
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 And it's
Yeah.
important, and I don't recall any resolution, right? There's been no
There is no
resolution.
resolution.
I remember talking about you voicing a couple of options. But again, that's
We weren't required to submit parking because the building pre-exists and the site is small.
right
So our thinking was, we've got 2 years
Yeah.
to work on
to
this.
figure it out.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
We're sharing.
Okay.
Can we switch stuff up to how the new, she hears just your friends thing?
I
So
don't,
hard
know.
to hear.
It is very hard to hear with the fan right now.
Not sure if they-
Holly's all the way over
You wanna
there.
come here?
She
No,
doesn't.
she's good. Yeah, she's good.
Okay,
All right, next, Lauren.
let's see.
C.
Okay, so, status of applications to fill trustee vacancy, and did everyone read what the two, candidates wrote? Anybody have any thoughts about either or both of them?
Yeah. both of them.
Go right,
That's what I said, right? Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I
okay,
don't know, I mean, I just wish that they could somehow be interviewed though. I mean, it might be different what they say on page and where they come up, but
Well,
they're both great, so I flip a coin.
okay, so, we were able to interview one of them.
Oh,
The other one is out of town, and we were not able to interview the second person.
do a Zoom.
Hmm?
To do a Zoom with them.
We didn't talk about that.
talk about
She didn't say where she was or anything, so that, so we did have an interview with, Russell. But I felt like I didn't want to say anything until you got, like, does anybody have any particular thing right off the bat?
I'll just
Yeah.
jump
Yeah.
in and say they both are great. I totally agree with all of that. I have to say, I was more drawn to Russell, in that, a lot of his experience, really does touch on some projects we have going.
Mhm.
He seems very tied into the community, with, his wife being on the co-op board.
Mhm.
So as we are focusing on outreach, I thought that was, a really significant, asset for us and, um, yeah, I mean, they're both great, but I was more drawn and I was thinking how wonderful it would be if we would find a way to maintain Andrea's interest
Yeah.
Absolutely.
for.
Then we have to join the building committee.
Or the trends.
Hold on, let's
Let's
just go
just
around the
look at it.
table and
Yeah,
see
but
what,
then-
what's your
I
opinion?
lean toward Russell as well, but in
Lean toward
response
Russell.
to what Sharon was just saying, what else could we do with the other applicant?
Yeah. Let's get to that after. So you think
So-
they're both great? I thought they were both great. I also was leaning towards Russell, and not, it was before we met him.
Yes, right,
And then we met him and it kind of
confirmed.
confirmed that.
Yes, and absolutely, I agree. So it,
Although I also think Andrea sounded great, and I asked someone who knows her, about, it just happened to come up with booklet actually. And she was like, oh, we love her, she's so great.
Yeah.
So,
and my feeling though is, yes, they both bring certain strengths. They would both bring certain strengths to the position. Right now, I think Russell brings more of what we need at this time. That's my feeling.
so, and we did talk about that, yes, it would be great to find another place for Andrea
For Andrea, absolutely.
and some way to do that. Without, you know, her feeling
Because
like,
Andrea
she didn't
lives in
get-
Housatonic.
Yeah.
Russell lives in Barrington.
You have 3 Housatonic residents here.
Two. Well, two, right?
yeah,
Are you-
I only live here in my heart, but I
Oh,
now
I
live in Great Barrington.
Oh, I thought you were still here. Okay,
It's
so
been a long
2.
time,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I lived here for 25 years.
Okay, so one's a Housatonian, all of the
That's
Housatonians.
exactly what I said to Sarah Parker, and she said, Housatonian? I never heard that before. I'm sticking with that. That's a great way to say, and I said, well, I didn't know, I just came out, you know, but anyway, yes. That's
So the
exactly what I
consensus
said.
is,
So, okay, so do we want, I think we needed to vote on this, if I'm not mistaken.
that's what our bylaws actually
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
that
so we need to
that
vote on
need to vote.
Mhm.
Okay, so anybody want to make a motion?
Russell Samora.
Some more?
Um, I make a motion to recommend that Russell Samar be appointed as, a trustee of the library. One question I have, I'll wait for discussion.
Okay. Second,
Discussion.
discussion.
I'm a little confused about the appointment time. Does the appointment last for the rest of the vacant term, or does it last until the next town election?
To the next
Election.
election.
Town election, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Because
And if he wants to stay on, he,
I got elected to fill,
And then you had,
and
right,
then I had to
run,
run.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this
So
is for a 1-year appointment.
Right.
And then,
and almost 1 year.
Almost
We're not
1 year.
doing it.
Almost
till-
1 year.
It's,
okay,
right,
okay,
right.
thank you for clarifying.
All right, vote. Patrick,
Yeah, Russell.
Donna,
Russell.
Sharon,
Russell.
Laura, me, Russell. Okay.
Great.
Confirmed. And then, do we want to talk just a little bit about where, because, Laura and I did talk about this, that we were gonna feel bad because we were able to meet with Russell and not, Andrea. And a little concerned that she would somehow feel like she got short shrift, which was not intentional at all. And
Is that a concern?
is it a concern?
I mean, it always is when you have two people in Francis, both of them, right? But I don't think that has to do with the interview.
Oh, no,
Right.
it actually did at all.
Because
And it
none
did-
of us,
it did
none of
not.
us were
Right, we're there
involved in
and,
that,
yeah.
and we were all drawn.
Right.
in the same
And that's what we
And
were,
as
that's what you
we-
were looking to finalize.
sort of confirm, yeah.
To confirm.
And, and then,
But I hope that Andrea will understand that we would love to have her as a
Yeah.
trustee, at a different, you know.
right,
Or as a friend too.
Yeah.
Well, but
perhaps.
yeah.
Yeah. so what maybe, if we can find another way to, get her
Engage her,
involved.
yeah.
But we can't really, she can't really go on the building committee because we already
Yeah.
have two,
We have trustees.
we have,
I don't,
well, no, but we already have the two, citizens that we need.
yeah, we were short, so I'm not sure if we just kind of went with what we had.
I think you were just short because the DPW guy
No,
didn't show up.
because,
I think-
what's the name, Rebecca, that was originally the,
She
chair.
was the architect.
But she was the architect.
She stepped
And
down.
that's-
Yeah, but Pam stepped in.
Pam was, yeah, Pam was,
Pam
yeah, it was
replaced
all kind of happening.
Oh, well, no, so good question, because, yeah, Pam is actually the architect. Pam is not the citizen at large.
No.
No,
So there
Frederica
is one-
and
It's Frederica
John
and
are
John.
And John, okay,
Yes.
and John just got reappointed for,
Or will
okay.
be.
So, yeah, no, it's
Okay.
full. It's
Yeah.
full.
Wouldn't the RBC be a lot for somebody brand new?
Oh, I think
Well,
so,
I don't-
yeah, I mean, I was just, responding to Pat
Yeah,
mentioning
just
that, I don't think.
I was just thinking, if she's down here and she's obviously involved with young children somehow here, which would be consignment that it'd be great to have somebody that had children's
Right.
real sensitivity and interest in
Sure,
mind
sure.
for the building.
I think, that, I'm gonna send you some information based on a IC meeting I went to.
Oh,
Before we
that's-
write to her.
Before we write back to
Yeah.
Andrea.
Okay,
You're writing back to Andrea?
We
Yeah.
have to respond
I
back
know,
to
To
her, right,
respond to.
right.
but
the
yeah, and
town.
I see, I mean, anybody can go to those meetings. of
Oh,
course,
so you would recommend my.
Yeah.
No, I'm just, I'm just gonna
Okay,
send.
that's fine,
you
but,
guys-
but I would have anyway. Recommend.
Recommend
her,
I,
yeah.
I see. And, but
No,
not friends.
No,
Why
I'm
not?
not,
And-
I'm not
and friends,
recommending that,
yeah.
I'm thinking of another person on IC, and then might be able to bring them together in some way, that's,
Okay.
I'm not
Yeah.
recommending.
But yeah, no, I definitely think, Frank, whatever she, if there's any
Exactly.
way
I
that
think
she
there are
wants to get
options for
involved,
her. I
we
think
should
there are
let her
options.
know.
And it's not that she cannot run in May.
That's right.
That's a real important,
Mm-hmm.
you
Right,
know,
right.
thing to reiterate to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, great. All righty, thank you. Next.
Okay.
Next is the
Dawn.
library's director's report, Dawn.
Okay, you don't have that chart at the top this time because, when I submitted this, of course, the month had not ended yet.
Right.
So you'll have that next time. However, I can tell you that physical circulation went down several thousand, but, digital circulation went up so much that, more than makes up for it. Also visits went up, I think a couple thousand over both libraries. So more on that next time. And by next time, I might have all the numbers, you know, for the ARIS report anyway. On facilities. The HVAC is working fine at Mason. We were having trouble with like an odor, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
And they're gonna get in there and get filters and things, and they were coming to do something with the bins they're called on top. So they're working on it, and the elevator as well. They have finally received 2 quotes for fixing the elevator. And they're reviewing those right now. And let me see. We just placed our first orders today, but we do have to get up to speed again. The opening event Saturday at Mason for summer reading. She had some horses come, and apparently that was very popular. Horses and ice cream sundaes, and 108 people were there, so that was.
Wow, that's amazing.
And we started interviewing for a part-time position, and I think we're about to post the youth services full-time position.
So nobody inside one.
That's what I mean, posted inside.
Oh,
We haven't
the
posted it inside.
got it.
Yes,
Got it.
yes. And that's it. This part here that says, came from Betsy is not actually part of my report. That's something separate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right,
Um,
that's separate.
So that's it for me, unless you have questions.
So the maintenance as far as here, I mean, is Betsy or somebody checking after these torrential rains?
Yes,
If there's moisture in the basement?
it's full every day.
Full?
The
What's full?
dehumidifier,
Oh,
Yeah,
So it's humid.
yeah.
But as far as, besides the humidity though, is there better penetration from the rain?
No, we haven't seen any water.
No, in the back room or downstairs? What,
I don't know if she goes,
because that's where it slopes down, so that's where the concern.
which back room do you mean?
Not downstairs and basement.
Right?
But room is off that room.
Yeah, no, we don't usually go in there.
Okay.
The only place we've seen water in the past is over here by the water heater.
Maybe have her check.
Not the
that,
water
just
heater, the
Yeah.
boiler. Yeah.
Check to make sure. And then
Yeah.
the other thing is, but this needs to go on a list someplace. I mean, that is lead paint on these windows out there.
I don't know.
What is?
so it is, yeah.
Right. So we need to, MBLC won't pay for that because they said that was neglect. So they were in here 2 or 3 years ago on that. So the town, we need to just get after them. It's a.
Well,
helpful
I think
thing.
that's a really important thing to bring to this whole conversation.
Because Liz
Is,
doesn't.
you know, if the town wants to say, well, you know, we just don't really want to do this, if they're reminded that we've been trying to deal with these lead painted windows for years, and the MBLC has considered it
Neglect.
the neglect. I mean, I think that could sort of hit home with people. You know,
Certainly needs to
Does that go in this
I
memo?
think it's
Back
important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go in this one.
Yeah, why not?
And then the other
Right, why
thing is the front doors, this is a constant problem, but they need to be refinished again. Those are priceless doors.
I remember that though. When I first was here, they did it, right?
Yeah.
I think
But
they
it's-
do it every year. They
it's
certainly did
supposed to.
last year.
But it's all down to the grain again now.
Okay.
And they're irreplaceable.
Yeah.
So they just need to send, and good
Maintenance.
weather, and low humidity.
Mhm.
They need to come over and kind
Then, yes, the
Then,
next one.
So.
and then, sorry, Don, then as far as the dead trees on the front, the dead shrubs, is there any talk of?
They don't have any money for plantings. I don't know if they're gonna take them out or
No, they
not.
should take them out. It's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be
to
better
take
for
them
there
out.
be nothing
Yeah.
than,
Yeah. Bad luck.
We can go out and pull them.
Yeah, they do that too.
yeah, we'll start calling you Kathy. Well, a board member who was on the board for a lot of years, she just, you know, she would get so frustrated at the stuff that didn't get done.
She just.
And she would just do it.
Yeah.
And it was great. She would just feel like, I'm just doing it.
That's a possibility. You would never say no to that, right?
True.
Okay, thank you, Dawn, but you're up again to report on the status of the alternative study.
So sorry, let me just say one other thing, have you guys already mentioned this, but Betsy and all what she's got out there is great.
Oh, the story walk.
Oh, yeah, that
Oh,
was
it's
great.
great. It-
That was
absolutely.
just, they just installed that Monday, I think.
So that's Betsy's
And it's
idea?
bilingual.
But it's
It's great.
Betsy's thing, idea?
It's Betsy and, her name is Jan. I can't remember her last name, but
Okay.
yes.
We'll just,
And I think she may be doing one at Mason.
we want to recognize it.
Yeah,
because it's just- it makes-
Absolutely.
Well, and somebody should do a little
It does,
video.
it
and put
does.
up
Yeah.
on-
It's adorable. It's
Yeah.
adorable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really
put it on
engaging.
the website or
yeah.
social media, whatever. Yeah.
I also
Yeah.
love that it's toddler height.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 I think it's.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love seeing it.
Yeah.
And they tried to put it very close to the ramp, so it wouldn't
Yes.
be in DPW's way,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
so,
Yeah, it's awesome.
but it's very cute, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing that up, Pat, I forgot. All right, so Ramsdale, the alternative studies, it's done. It was revised, and, so Lauren and Laura, wrote a memo and gave it to me, and one day this week, don't know what day it was. I sent it to Apple Fic, and I sent it to Maureen, MEO, at MBLC, and I sent it to Liz, and Andrea was copied on all of those, and Liz was copied on the Historic Commission and MBLC. So, and the date that was set for comments to be received by was July 24.
Right.
I have not heard back from anybody that they have received it.
I thought similar to it, like at least Pam
Oh,
Sandler, the architect.
oh, Pam?
Yeah,
Well, she
Well,
has it.
yeah, she's
Yeah,
actually,
it has.
yeah, this was the official in
Oh, I
order
think it's
to
the
fulfill this part of the
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you said not the Maureen and the, and,
And Liz.
oh, and this.
Yeah.
I haven't noticed nothing that at the last town meeting, is there might be a second person on the historical commission that,
But that's a good point. Maybe just in case he could be on an extended vacation.
it's someone, so.
Yes.
Okay.
Who else
So I
is there?
just, you might want to ask this.
Lavelle?
Advice,
On the commission, Gary
Gary Leviak.
Levier.
Is he on the
I
commission
think
now?
he's on the commission.
I can at least ask Gary if it was
is
received.
it?
Right.
Is it-
Jim Mercer's on the commission.
Jim is, yeah.
Could
Yes.
ask Jim.
Well, there'll be a secretary or something.
Oh, yeah, what's her name?
Bizowitz, yeah.
Bisowitz,
Bizowitz.
Yeah.
Marilyn
She's gonna
Bisowitz.
sing.
Right.
Oh, she's stepping there, I was on.
She might be-
She might be
Right.
rotating.
Yeah.
I will, I'll look into that a little bit tomorrow,
Just to make sure that that it's
been received. Yeah,
that it can be dealt with in time.
okay. That's a good idea.
Great, thank you for doing that, Tom. The next order of business is also regarding the Ramsdale. If you can just summarize that June 12th meeting that we had with the design team. Remember the Zoom
one-
meeting that we had?
Oh, weren't we just going over the alternative study?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
I think we just went over the alternative study and gave them some really only minor adjustments. One being that when Michael completed it, we were waitlisted. And then within a
Right,
week, we were no
right.
longer
so
waitlisted.
they had to
So
fix
we
that.
changed that, and there were some grammar things, but really very few things.
No, I thought you did a really good
So
job.
we turned it,
Yeah.
we turned it around very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he did encourage us to make the turnaround time for Historic Commission, Liz and Maureen on the shorter side.
Shorter side, right.
Because these things have to actually be compiled and then snail mailed
Yes.
to
yeah.
MHC, and then they will snail mail something back, so.
Okay.
Okay, so, all right, Housatonic Improvement Committee. So I was at the last meeting. And I see I'm supposed to give you a summary, and I'm trying to remember. I did make some notes. I think I'll skip ahead first and I'll look at my notes. A while back, several months ago, it had been discussed that Betsy was putting together a list of questions for the board that people were asking coming into the library. And with the idea that we would hopefully be able to answer these questions, and the idea being that when anybody asks a question about the renovation, that everyone knows what to say, and that we're saying the same thing. We're all on the same page, and there's real answers. So you guys have the
Yeah,
list.
this looks like this
Yeah,
in your packet. We have, these are the questions that,
it's like that.
that Betsy compiled.
So, okay, when will the renovations start? We don't exactly know, right? But
I think
we can
It would be,
say
yeah,
that,
we do kind of know.
right,
Yeah,
we,
Because we would have a contract next June, then we would have a whole year of, schematic design. And then I think, I would have to look at the timeline again, but I think what she said was, after that, we would have 6 months to get the contractor, and permits. And then, so January of 28,
28.
we would have to start
Right,
So
and
early
it's a little
28.
tricky to start in the winter.
in the winter,
Yeah.
but I said that.
But
And
people
somebody
do-
said to me,
people
"Oh,
do
no, they
construction
do
all the
year
time."
round."
But
Oh,
I
yeah.
do
So that's a
guess
good
that,
number.
Yeah.
that we will have to empty out the library.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be.
That's another question
Sorry.
here. She was
So,
wondering.
June of 2028 is what,
No,
January.
January,
Yeah,
sorry.
so I put down early 2028.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, how long will the renovations take? Do we have any, has,
I think it's too early for that one.
Somebody said something.
It's a bit, it's
Okay.
hard. to
We don't
tell,
know.
okay, too early to tell.
But I
When,
think contractors would, once we have the contractor in place, like we would
Can give
be
us-
able to tell. at the
yeah, and
time
then
that-
add 6 months or.
Yeah, exactly. But
Right.
it's, we can't tell, because we don't have a
The
contract.
renovations will take too long, I'm sure. It will feel like too long.
But, so when the renovation starts, if it's January 2020, early 2028, how long will they take? Can we guestimate a year?
No,
Oh,
I
don't
think it'd be
think so.
better to just say at this point,
I
too
don't
early
think
to
so.
tell.
Yeah.
I think
Okay,
that's
it's
fair.
fine. Yeah.
So where I come from with a guesstimate is that, the fewer times we say we don't know, I think the better.
Well, true,
Yeah.
but let's go down the list and see if there's.
but better
if we-
to say I don't, I think people would understand.
I think
if you-
too early to tell is different.
When we're, yeah,
Yeah.
and when we're talking about it not even starting for a year and a half,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. As long as there are not too many things on this list that are too early to tell.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Okay, when will fundraising begin?
It has begun.
It has begun.
It has begun.
It has?
Yeah, has it?
Yeah.
Who's been
Well-
fundraising?
Well, we certainly have earmarked some funds from our accounts. I assume the fund is starting fundraising.
Not until.
I don't think so.
No, and it won't.
Yeah.
And it won't start fundraising until it sees that there's plenty of money in place, locally supported, and the MBLC.
Okay, well, we'll have to talk about that later. Never mind then.
I
Yeah.
can help with that information if you want to hear more.
So, and this is a question,
Well, it's-
fundraising, like, that's a pretty,
I think, why don't we answer it with the first step is the vote at town meeting?
I don't think that's a good answer because I don't think that's the first step. I don't agree with that as a first step.
What do
I
you think the
that-
first is?
I think
Well, I
that
think we should
fundraising
be
needs to
fundraising.
begin like immediately, like last year.
You can't go to big donors though. And no,
Yeah, I-
Let's
we're not
not
talking-
discuss it right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know that we need to have a huge discussion.
but
about
I
that
think
right
there's a
now.
disagreement here among us that we're thinking that MBLC, not KLC, I'm so sorry. GBLF should be fundraising now, or other groups, friends should be fundraising for Ramsdale now. But there's a logistical problem because
but
if,
that,
what?
but
Yeah,
that's
what is
not,
the- what
that's
is-
not, that has
That's
nothing
the
to do
answer
with
to
this.
these
This
questions.
has nothing
When
to
will
do with
funding
this.
begin?
Right,
Okay,
but that has nothing to do.
so is
we're-
that,
We know it hasn't begun. We know it,
Except that-
regardless of why.
But we're
that's not the-
earmarking certain funds from our accounts, and that's the beginning of fundraising. I just heard Sharon say. So the answer, has it begun? Is it not beginning? Who's beginning it? Who
Well-
started?
Yeah, I think it, what is the meaning? Like, what, is this question related to, private funds? Is it related to?
We don't know.
they
you know, we
probably don't know. It's
We
prob-
don't know.
But I can guess that a lot of people just ask.
Yeah,
So is anybody fundraising? Who's, who's
Right.
doing it, how,
Right.
how, when?
so the answer is no, really.
So
right?
at the moment,
Well, no, you know what? The real answer is we're in a quiet phase. And that's what libraries called, because you don't want to say raise this, people don't say you should raise more. It stays quiet till you hit a certain benchmark.
Well, and the
well,
other
but that's
thing
not
with
the
that,
question. The question is, has it,
It-
when will it
It
begin?
has.
it has, if you consider that beginning is finding applications, finding grants, finding things to apply for. That is all part of the fundraising process.
And the 501c3, which is.
So we're beginning to do the research.
There you go.
Have we actually gotten the money yet? No, but the research has started as to where the fundraising
I
is.
wonder if we could tie this though instead, to our plan to focus on community outreach during this year.
Mhm.
And then say that fundraising is going to become a topic. You'll hear a lot about it in our community outreach.
And that's what I
process
was
this-
getting at, is that the question she's really asking?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
will we know what's going on?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I would like, instead of belaboring our definitions of fundraising,
Mhm.
let's tie it to, this is going to be a topic you'll be hearing a lot about during the course of the coming year.
Is it safe to say, though, that yes, the affirmative to the question, has fundraising begun because grants have been written? The MDLC was a huge.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, it's really broad, the way you can interpret
Yeah, and
this.
and we can say, yes, fundraising actually began.
I mean, the MBLC grant is, but I don't think that's what they mean.
I don't think that's what because they already know about the grant. I think we should tie it to our community outreach, because that's a positive way of,
Well, that affects them.
I mean,
That affects
maybe-
the people who ask the question.
yeah.
Right, and that's
Because
really
if
what
you
we're
think
talking
about the
here.
people who ask the question.
And, it may be that people are waiting to donate.
Could
It
be.
may be that people are curious about how well it's going. We don't know, but let's be aware that's a topic we should focus on.
Okay, so then what is the short answer? Yes, we're in quiet phase.
Yeah.
When will
And we'll be
fundraising
talking,
begin?
So fundraising has begun. And if,
Right.
and if this is meant not as direct questions to us specifically but for anyone in the libraries. I mean, Dawn, have you ever, heard these questions being asked?
No.
You have not.
But I
Okay.
can, imagine a scenario where somebody said, where can I give some money
Mm.
towards this project?
yes.
Right.
And we have a place for that?
We do.
But what do
Yeah.
we tell them?
Well, that's up to you all. We could
Okay.
tell them the fund, we could tell them the Ramsdale capital account with the town. We could tell them Ramsdale donations. What we can't tell them is Mason donations,
Right.
right? But any of our other accounts could accept.
And they can earmark if they want to do it to Mason
Yes.
donations, it could be for capital.
You mean
improvement.
Ramsdale
I mean,
donations?
yeah.
Right.
Ramsdale
If they put it
donations.
in the capital Ramsdale capital account, it could only be used for capital purposes.
Right.
So that might be the best place to recommend that people put it.
That would be the place to direct to the Ramsdale Capital account. How do people reach the Ramsdale Capital account?
They would have to
Through the
write,
library.
they could contact me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we moving on? Will Ramsdale be closed for the entire renovation period or partially open? Does anybody know that? I would say we don't know the answer to that.
I don't have any idea, but I can't imagine how it could stay. open.
I don't,
But
yeah.
the subtext,
Given
the
the-
second question to that is whether we're going to have some kind of library service space.
Right.
In
In the
interim.
interim,
Yeah.
Well, the one sort of example is the Berkshire Museum shut down for 18 months and totally closed the building. They had the mobile units sort of go out into the community, and they had outreach into the libraries. I mean, I think there could be some things that.
Oh, yeah, we might be able
we
to
could
find
do.
a little space where we could
Sure.
have some bestsellers, and
Sure.
some children's books, or we might even be able to, have some books that we put in the back of my car and
Go,
Right.
and go to things.
right,
You know, and who's the time?
So it won't
So
stop.
basically, the answer will be, yes, it'll be closed, but we're
We're looking
will
into
look into-
ways to continue service.
Services.
Right.
You know, on a
Services and
smaller
yeah.
scale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the next one is a big yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I don't quite know that the next one, what will happen
Yes.
to the original sections?
I don't know what that meant.
What they're thinking about this right here.
It will,
This is the
Okay,
original
so
section,
the-
so they will be,
So the,
updated,
Restored,
but
or not.
restored,
okay,
but.
so they're
but left
talking about
alone.
the historic.
they're
Yeah.
talking about the historic.
Yes.
So it will be, it will
So-
be made, it will be maintained, it will
Right,
be restored.
Yeah.
Restored, historic restoration.
Restored to its glory,
Right.
because it's still glorious, but must have been something when it first.
I
opened.
know.
Okay, so will there be private study and meeting rooms? That's yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Will there be a computer lab?
think
I don't
we
know
We
what that means exactly. You have
It won't be
computers
a
here
lab, but
already,
there will be
but there'll be
desktop.
there'll be stations,
computers.
just like.
There's gonna
Yes.
be,
Yeah.
there's gonna be
Computers will be available.
computer access to.
I
Right,
can't remember
computer
what.
access.
So, and that might just be Betsy's wording.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so it won't be
Yeah.
lab, but it might be desks or stations or
They
computers.
call, Tech Commons, that's what the
It's the
design
Tech
team
Commons.
called it. And it will be in one of these rooms.
I think it's in this one.
There will be some tables with
Called the Tech
desktops.
Commons.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
it's designed for this one because that one
Okay,
connects to a meeting and that was my
Yeah.
memory.
Desk.
so the room won't be only devoted
Right.
to computers, but, there will, I think there's plans for 4. If I remember correct.
That's what my memory was, and I
Yeah.
thought there were also gonna be some reading chairs around.
Yeah,
With outlets so that people could plug in their own laptops,
right.
and then just some low bookshelves, that's what.
I thought that was a
remember.
thoughtful design.
Yeah.
For computer use, actually.
Okay, will the library of things still be browsable?
Now, Betsy and I actually just talked about this today. And what the design calls for is for the library of things to be stored downstairs.
Right.
And then upstairs to have some kind of pictorial
Catalog.
display, catalog, right? And we were talking about it today because the fact is, these things are huge.
Mhm.
And it really is kind of impractical to have them on the main floor. But we were brainstorming, for example, having, racks on a swivel. Do you remember Blockbuster?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
and you picked the case and you brought it to the
Mhm.
front and then they retrieved the thing and they gave something like that, which also works well for staff because, and we could actually use DVD cases because we've got about 1,000 of them
good
at least.
idea.
So you put a picture of it on the front and on the back, there's a
Right.
description, we might even
Right.
put something inside.
Mhm.
So the person can see everything, everything has its own case, then they pick it up, bring it to the desk. The people go downstairs and get it, give the person the actual thing and file the case for it at the desk.
Wow.
That sounds like a great way to do
So
it.
it's browsable,
sort
it's just not the actual.
Right, so it's sort of a no, but.
It's a
But do you
yes.
think-
It's a yes.
It'll be browsable in a different way.
Right, that's what,
It is
that's,
virtually.
And
done.
sometimes.
and that's what I meant when I just said.
Yes, and some things, well, I want to say virtually, because that sounds like
It's all online.
Electronic,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Because, but, okay, all right,
So
But-
yes,
but
there
we're-
was,
vicarious browsing, but.
Yeah, okay.
But the
Representative
other is-
browsing.
The other thing we could do is just have a screen, right? The touch screen that we could.
That you could scroll
that you
through.
could scroll
Good
through.
idea, yes.
So either one, I mean, I do
Right,
love.
but
the whole-
something like that.
Yeah.
So again,
One
not
a
physically
format,
browsable, and I'm sure that's what they're
Just
asking.
Yeah,
a
me
user, a
So-
user friendly.
Yeah.
I
So-
know that's what they're asking.
I know
because
that's what they're
Betsy
asking.
told me, she said,
Yes.
people tell her they like to walk through and see what tools are there and all that.
Right.
And so they
So
will
they
be able
can
to see
still
that.
do
They
that.
will
Right,
be
so
able to
it'll
see
be
that.
browsable in a different format.
Except for
But
some of
my
the
next
special
question-
collections, like the dolls will stay with the children's library.
Okay,
And the games may go in the teen library. So some of it will still be upstairs, but I don't think we're gonna have power washers and weed whackers
Right.
on
No.
the main floor.
And that
Um,
will be a great improvement.
Yeah.
but so my next question though is, and that's not, they're not asking it, but this is where my mind went, is the person who says, but I really have to see the thing before I take it home. Is there gonna be a policy? No, we just can't do that, or is someone gonna make an exception and say, okay, let's go downstairs and look at it,
I
so.
think we would bring the thing
Bring
upstairs.
some, and the
Just bring it
person will
up.
see it and they could change their mind,
Okay,
right? And they could say, oh, change their mind, don't want it.
Okay. All right, so hopefully that won't happen very much.
Oh, so, yeah, so it
Okay.
will be visual browsing of the offerings. And then what is it, when you call for the materials?
Right.
And they'll be delivered upstairs.
Okay. Finally, will there be a place to get hot and cold drinks?
Yeah, what is that, the deal upstairs with the serving area? Would people be able to boil water up there? We're not gonna have a tap.
No, no, no.
Well, no, and you know, you can't expect staff to have to like
Right.
deal with that. So, but I guess it's something
Libraries
people
was-
ask.
There was a trend to have cafes in libraries during renovations, but most of them closed. They lost money.
Oh.
And it was not part of the mission.
Right.
So.
Right.
But the question would be what's accessible to.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I don't know if the plan is to have that room open all the time. So I think it's gonna have to be left to staff discretion. Are
Right.
there 3 people today?
Yeah, yeah.
Here today? Then we can open the meeting room. And that's where there will be, you know, a teapot and a microwave. And
So the answer is, not, there will not be a cafe, but there might be access to.
Well, it
Maybe-
doesn't look
maybe-
like they're looking necessarily for a cafe. They're just saying, will there be a place to get hot and cold drinks, like a cooler
Yeah,
with a.
We can say, what a great idea.
What a great idea.
You know.
I mean, the bank does
I
have
think we
coffee.
should say, you know,
It does.
Which bank?
All
Yeah,
banks,
they
well,
all
no,
do.
a Berkshire
Yeah.
Bank,
Big
one
bank.
bank has
You
coffee.
can just say, when the meeting room is open, there will be hot and cold drinks
Oh,
available.
that's a good
well,
idea.
there won't be drinks, there'll be hot and cold water for drinks.
Oh, yes.
Right, we're not
Yes.
gonna buy
Pods.
things and sell them.
Tea and.
Or
Yeah.
beverages,
Yeah,
sodas,
we
stuff.
got in our budget, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could.
So, yeah, how do
There
we
will
answer
be,
that?
there will
So when
be,
the second, when the meeting room on the second floor is open, there'll be a place to, heat water. I think we start with, there won't be a cafe in the library, but,
Oh.
on occasion, you know, you'll be able to heat water. Or hot drinks, or just say that we always welcome you to bring your own. Right? We do.
Yeah, people probably come in with their coffee or tea.
Is that okay? People can come in with drinks?
Oh, yeah.
It's like they're
Okay,
100%.
I do it all the time.
well, look at us.
Mm-hmm.
Pizza and drinks.
Great.
Okay. All right. So, I will try to put something together with these answers and, send it along. I'll probably send it along to Sarah to put in her packet for the next IC meeting.
Is the one, when you're doing the draft, I think, especially in the study and meeting rooms, you know, the current, saying besides, yes, the current design includes X number of small.
Right. Yeah, I think that's
Just to
good.
give them,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, a
Yeah.
little bit more, the
Yeah.
current,
Right.
at our current
Current
phase of
design
design.
phase, right.
So it looks like we only have one thing that's too early to tell. So I think we're good.
Great. Thank you. All righty, well, the Friends report is next. Thank you for coming. What can you tell us about the Friends?
I have to tell you that we would like you to sponsor a liquor license on dates and different. A long time. But Pat, are you able to order for the select board on? It's been on months since I've done it.
Well, first we need, yeah,
Yeah.
first we need to, ask for, we need to vote. And the dates are just, as I did send those to you, the dates are August 29th, September 26th, and October 24th. Is that right?
That's gonna be ahead of the month.
Yes, the last Saturday of the month. So do I have a motion to approve liquor licenses for the poetry readings on those dates?
So moved.
Second?
Yeah, how have we done that before? Because a lot of times Garfield will want specifics of, is there hard liquor or whatever? So we must have a copy of what we've done before.
Yeah, we have it. We have the process. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a second.
I moved, somebody has
Oh,
to second.
Do we have a second?
You did?
No, you-
Well, I'm not sure I want to second it because I don't think we're in a position to approve liquor licenses. It has to go to the select board, so the motion.
We
would
don't
be-
approve
we don't.
them.
You just said,
We approved going to the.
that
select
was
board.
missing, going to the select board
Yeah.
for
Yep.
approval.
Yes, the trustees historically go to the
Right,
select
yeah,
board.
so that's why the
Right.
motion I wanted to amend.
Right, okay.
To say, to
Right.
go to the select board.
That's
We're
what-
not
that's
approving
what,
liquor
that's what the motion is. Thank you.
Okay.
Right, okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Right?
Unanimous.
It's unanimous.
So you and I will.
Well,
Here's the process, there's just a form we fill out, and we tell that we write in that you, Ed, and now Jen are all tips certified, and we ask them to waive the fee. And then it goes to the select board, it's signed by one of the chairs, or both of them, I don't know how you guys are doing it. And then whoever is signing it is the person who either attends or tunes in to the select board. And it's kind of put on this
Yeah,
one.
if anything wants to-
Weeks now.
If anybody wants
hold
to.
on, I need
So
to.
I gave you the last form, you just have. to
Yes,
copy
yes,
it,
I
right?
have the process. Now that we have the approval, I have the process.
What is the
The,
first
the,
August 29th.
stickler here is that,
Then, yeah.
neither Lauren
Okay,
or
I-
I can go to the select board meeting on the sixth.
Say that again about.
You
the-
said it was
On the 6th of July. Oh, right, actually, Lauren, so,
Yeah,
so the next one is the 20.
Okay.
Oh, great. Then they put you
Oh, and then
on.
they put you on, oh, I see, okay.
Ann and I are trying to underline this.
Can't follow all the conversations.
They have the rest of July and.
Yeah,
early
right,
August,
right,
but-
we have this, yeah, yes. All righty.
You wanna stay on new business? Keep going.
Yes.
Yes.
Sure. I would like, though, since you're here, I would like to ask you what, about Jan and, and what you think of her and how that's going and.
Well, we've had many volunteers over the 15 years we've been doing this. And she's really fantastic. She's straightforward, she's very long.
Mhm,
She emails when she's about to which is text,
mhm,
and she's fairly newly retired. And she does her own
mhm.
painting and poetry writing, and she
Yeah.
wanted to do something volunteer, it's a perfect fit.
And I can add that I did go to the poetry reading, the last one, which was very well attended, I thought. And every time someone walked through the door, Jan went and sort of welcomed them and showed them a seat, like she was very engaged. So that's
Libraries and good parents, being you know, the whole library.
Right,
A lot of people.
Right.
Zoning is the.
Right. and she takes care of that, right, right, good, yeah,
That's great.
great, thank you.
But I'm guessing, you wanted us to skip ahead to new business about the, launching the subcommittee to expand the Friends,
I would appreciate it.
because, so you can leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Is everybody okay with that?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody okay with us doing that?
Okay, yeah,
So, we've been talking about getting more friends because many libraries have a much bigger friends group than we do. And, I know I've been reading more about all the kinds of things that the Friends can be doing. More than, more than the book sales and just having that many more people, available to come in to volunteer to help out. And, so we want to talk about that. I don't know that we're ready to actually launch a committee, but wanted to talk about it. Anybody is interested in sort of actively trying to find more friends. I met with someone last week who said that she would love to be a friend of the library and be involved, and she lives in Housatonic. She's in here a lot herself.
let me see what Holly,
And so that's, yeah.
There's a couple of things. First of all, we have traditionally always done what we call the book sales. But with book sales, in addition to being involving money generators, helping friends, is actually a social event. It draws an enormous amount of attention to the library. It gets people more beautiful, beautiful. And it's been told by people who study civic engagement that it's the most lively place in town. So we thought really hard to keep that going. Most of the thanks to that. The other thing is the poetry reading again. Friends, one of our steady things to do has been after hours program. Library renovation is set up that way. Not everybody who wants to use the library has the afternoons free. So the poetry series has been extremely engaging, and they do most of the library. They just do the hospitality. So it's and it doesn't cost anything except for the sessions. The newest thing we started, because I was interested, was the mahjong for beginners group. We grew 20 people the first time. We had to cut off the commission. We didn't have enough room.
Yeah, so I heard.
We bought tables, we bought mahjong sets, but we got volunteers to teach. People who are good friends. There's 2 of them, and they're doing a second series starting this week. So
these are all Friends, initiated.
We have, we're starting to find out in all the years of kind of coordination between the trustees, the parents, and the staff. The trustees have come to more events and offered their help. And we have already done, which is very good. The Ron and Betsy, they do the poster, and Betsy, that is the plan.
The flyers, that's Betsy.
Yeah, Betsy. And the flyers for monogam, flyers, poetry, at some point. And also took names from monogam. Staff for coordination, which was fantastic, but it's a friends initiated project that runs after hours, during and after hours. And we basically walk in front of getting that, so that's the money. So I think we're doing a good job with this now, but we're staying reliable. We don't have to put people in here for this. The problem with that to the group is then the administrator and stuff to do it. If somebody came to us with a project, which they do all the time, like for instance, the artist in residence program, which wasn't very well publicized, but it was an interesting program that was practiced by the friends vendors. And we're always interested in doing one. You don't put the same in it because a lot of friends belong to it, because the town was so generous in its funding. Then it stopped, started with $5 it was self-funded and then they got down to that, but they still are not nearly 99% people in the town that had to be there. So we didn't have the pressure of having a big book sale or a big event that raised the $3,000, which becomes it's over, so everything was done on Wednesday. The reason I didn't like stuff about it is because we have had fun being much holiday, but we're also receptive to what people want. I'm not against, we're never against adding from this, there's absolutely no reason why we can't, it's in our record. In terms of raising money for that staff, I think Ed approach you have with a couple of years or 2 of them, and he find out that our manager is the programming, raising money for projects, etc. It's not the programming, capital and other things. So that's why the other funding work for and got the status, academic status. So we would be in competition if we tried to start our own fundraising.
I don't really recall it going that way. I seem to recall that, there wasn't an interest in doing that type of fundraising. But I'm just wondering if there were more friends for the kinds of things that you're already doing, and there could be even more, there could be, like, the friends are basically based at the Mesa. We don't really have like a group of people who come and do the same kinds of things. So if there were more people, it just seems like that would be beneficial all around. And then my other question, though, is about the administration part. And do you mean because you and Ed have the most experience, you feel as though you would have to train and somehow manage a bigger group? I mean, could, as the group grew, each new person would learn from the others, and wouldn't really, the onus wouldn't necessarily be on just the two of you to be. Is there like an administrative arm? Do
You know what I mean?
Or is it just because you have the most
It's just
experience and knowledge?
It's in any event. Oh, whenever there's an opportunity to have volunteers, you have to build in, ask the staff, because they have volunteers. And how they do it. You have to build a lot of time for many things. Something, it's not that it's no experience, so it's not fun. It's too much work.
So,
Sometimes, so sounds to me like what would be great is if you could have a group of people that could be underneath the certain things for the tax deduction and money would be released. It would be specifically to serve this one. And it's because both of us are from Barrington, it's something.
Right.
It's not a society, I mean, we did the entire program to get this library in the Sunday, so.
I remember it.
I know it's doable, but we just. We did it, now maybe it's certainly didn't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Couple of questions, Holly, would it make things easier for you and Ed and Jan if there were a number of people interested in joining the Friends, and maybe even from new membership, people willing to take on leadership roles, so that the administration wouldn't necessarily fall to you and Ed, that they could coordinate, for example, who's assigned to what on what day. They could hold calendars, and would it be helpful? Because what I've heard was that the Friends have had to turn to library staff for support, for posters and things like that. Our library staff, I think, is
We didn't turn to them, they all.
okay.
Well, and I kind of came to that same thought, but even though they offered, maybe they're offering because they see that you need the help. I don't know that.
Well, actually, what happens is we consider a program happening in the library to be also library
Library.
sponsored, so the Friends are running it, but it's a library sponsored program, basically, so that's why we do the flyer.
So it's appropriate that the staff is
Yeah.
part of that.
So I just want to say, I think that the programming support that you're offering is wonderful. And I like the idea of a boosted kind of a Ramsdale focused couple of people that could like learn from you and then, you know, make it their business here. Maybe what we need to think about is what is beyond the program and what is it we're looking for? And I personally think that all of the second homeowners who can't run through a trustee, who can't, you know, who are library adjacent or library friendly, and it would be really lovely if a friends group could capture them and encourage their support. And I don't mean just in a monetary donation, but in coming to programs and being involved. And I wonder if there might be a way for us to think about like an event that you and I talked about. Maybe you said you once tried to do a dance party outside.
We did dance party in the parking lot.
Yeah, something fun like that we might use as an opportunity to gather interest from people. And then the question is how we keep them.
Yeah.
And so if there were maybe membership coordinators who would then keep in touch with them, maybe we could find somebody who would put together the Friends newsletter so that it could go out to all of these people. I mean, I think that the program is good, but raising the interest of a larger population has to benefit the library in the end, and that becomes financial.
If we had a program here after hours, it would also be cool. Also, there's a ton of books back there, like hundreds. And the way it is now, Ed would have to come get them and bring them down there. You know, probably 20 boxes or so, right?
Right,
But
so
if-
why aren't we sort of
If they're
duplicating
saying
things?
fill them out
Right.
here, like they do at Mason.
So that would be the.
That would be one thing,
that
that would be
piece of
one
time
really beneficial
for
thing.
people. And do you
Yeah.
think you guys could manage that? In addition?
Yeah, that's right. You mentioned that the trustee didn't stream was for you to tell.
I'm sorry, yes, yes.
Could
Yeah.
we approach?
Maybe.
I didn't hear.
Could we approach Andrew?
Not the other one.
Oh,
Andrea from Housatonic, and that she could start
She
off
could be
with
great.
that initiative.
We did have program, we had alternative music, it was hugely successful.
Oh, yeah.
It was weird shit.
Oh, I remember. Oh, who was it who was doing that? Was Sam doing that?
He did in the beginning,
Yeah.
but this is lovely, it's just, it's not, sounds amazing, but it's lovely in its own right, it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
I
a,
can't speak to the. I can't say yes, but I said that it's something to be able to find and make with it.
We can start off that way.
Yeah.
yeah, and I think if Andrea is told that we didn't appoint her as a trustee, I don't know how you say that,
Right.
but we have a real need. And we thought she'd be really suited for a need, if she would become
Yeah.
a member of the Friends.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
So it sounds
Problem
more.
solved.
It would be really nice to be offering books outside.
Yeah.
That would be a good
Really.
gesture, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it would be traffic, and it would bring people, the
In
same thing
fact-
that it does to the Mason, it would do to the Ramsdale.
Betsy said to me today, people have asked her, well, are you gonna have a book sale? Because now there's these shelves here. Are you gonna do a big book sale?
Oh, that's a great
there's
idea.
interest.
So that's
Okay.
right there is a reason to
It's a
have more
reason,
friends.
right?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Good, thank you, Holly.
Very
Well,
much.
it's pleasure to see you.
Thank you, Holly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry
I'm glad
for-
we had this conversation.
This last Saturday's reading, how was it?
It was great.
Oh, you were.
I was there.
It
was poetry.
Simon too. What did you make it to? Oh, I was at sure, that's why.
Well, and yeah,
I was.
People don't say,
Yeah.
I actually did not stay the whole time.
I didn't stay the whole time either, but what, the part that I was there for was
Yeah.
wonderful, and the snacks was perfect.
Yeah, the snacks are always great.
Good.
Snacks are
Yeah.
always great.
Puts out a nice table.
It's true. And I like the table, by the way, Holly, I like where the table is.
Yeah.
Instead of, this way, it
No.
makes more sense this way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Traffic flows is
Yeah,
very
yeah.
around it.
So
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you very much, Holly.
Thank you.
All righty.
Thank you for the pizza.
We're getting
punchy
now.
But before she leaves here, she's.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for that, for 15 years, I mean.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I know.
Holly was the one.
Holly deserves a hand,
Yeah.
that's for sure. Quiet. It's true. It's true.
Well, Holly was the one who organized the movies we used to watch upstairs.
Really?
Do you remember how great that was?
Used to walk.
Well, we watched them upstairs first and we got
Yeah.
kicked out of there and then we were watching them in the kids' room.
We saw some good films.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was fun.
We'll do it again.
Thanks, Holly.
Thank you. All righty. So we did that.
Okay, so should we go back to old business?
Well, we're still under new business, and there's an item.
So
under-
just do it.
No, we didn't do number
We didn't do number 9. There's no one here from the fund. So,
Okay.
oh, okay. So we
Well,
don't have,
Donna is here from the fund, but I don't.
But I
not
don't
in that
have
capacity.
Yeah, I
Not
don't
in that
understand
capacity.
that.
Okay,
I mean, I can share information that would be helpful, but I can't give a report. It's,
Okay.
yeah, because I don't know it, I don't have it.
do we want to listen to information that would be helpful? Or do we want to put that on an agenda
I don't
for
think
another
so.
time?
Not
think
tonight,
that-
no, I don't
not
mean
tonight.
now, but I
Okay,
mean,
good.
generally speaking,
Yes.
if, you're wondering, what are they doing?
Right.
And I can tell you what, this is what they're
That would
doing.
be-
It
that
might
would be
help
really
At some
important to
point,
know.
we'll put you on the agenda.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have to be agenda item, I can just answer questions informally, so to speak.
Okay.
But I am on the agenda for new business, increasing the number of.
Well, before that, we're still on old business. We're still on old business.
Okay, so we only came to new business for Holly, now
We only
came
came
back.
back, right. for
Yeah.
Holly.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, so old business, again, to Lauren, the liaisons to certain boards. And
So-
again, in your
Yeah.
packet,
We came up with the list of what we thought were important boards to, how do I put it? Be a, a fly on the wall.
important to
In their
connect with,
meetings
yeah.
and to
Important,
connect
and
with.
this is the page that's
Right.
in the packet.
And, there are more boards than there are people, obviously. We didn't even pick all the boards. But, there are a lot of places people are doing things in town. And we had thought that we would sort of go through it, people would look at it, hopefully you looked at it before you came tonight and maybe gave some thought as to where you could imagine yourself going to meetings. Not all of these boards meet as often as we do in the select board and so on. We also thought that we could try to pair 2 people with each board so that you either chose to alternate or had each other's backs, so that if someone can't go, someone else can. And not to make it too easy, Laura and I also discussed that if all else fails, we will volunteer to be third in line backup. If there's an important meeting coming up with one of these boards and we feel that someone really should be there and the trustee liaisons just can't, because, we all have our lives, that we would be the ultimate backup. So did anyone look at this and think, okay, I think I could do this, I think I could deal with this?
My first question was, which ones are you reserving to the chairs? Or are there any that you want to do first? And then I also,
Well, probably yes, but I didn't know that was, that we should do that. I don't know. Because, there are a few places I could imagine myself, but if someone else is also really like excited about it, that I don't want to,
so for instance, I think with the select board, to the extent that if one's at a meeting, one might get up during citizen speak, would like to hear from a chair rather than from just.
Right.
So it feels as if there's some places where the chair's voice.
Right.
Yeah.
Would be important. That may or may not be true of finance committee. I don't really know.
Right.
The new group.
well, actually, I realize now, because I have some of my own notes aside, on this. And we had talked about, the select board sort of rotating so that someone from the trustees is there.
Yeah.
And,
But
yes, so we would be
Sharon's
we would be
point-
the first line of defense, if you will.
If there's a topic on the agenda that's relevant to the library, I think one of us should be there.
Yes.
Yeah, but I kind of think that someone from the board should, for the select.
Oh,
board,
always, yes,
should
always.
always be.
But if there is
Specific to the library, yes,
if there
absolutely.
is, then that person should be a chair.
Yeah.
Co-chair.
Yeah, and then anybody else who just feels like,
I
oh,
go to every select board meeting. It's twice a month.
There you go.
Yeah, the first and third Mondays of the month.
I zoom into them when it looks like there's gonna be business too, but I don't, when I speak, I wouldn't speak. I mean, the only people who can choose to speak on behalf of the library without getting approval beforehand are the chairs.
Right.
So I guess I was thinking maybe we should reserve some spaces where the chairs have the problem. Could I ask why we didn't include the cultural council? I was thinking that
Oh,
might be
because-
good.
well, I think because we had a bigger list and then went through it a couple of times.
Yes, just because there are only 5.
Okay,
Yeah, and just thinking the ones that seem the most relevant.
okay.
And, cultural council, it's great. I used to be on the cultural council. It's a good board and they do good work. But we didn't feel like that one is just one that had to go off the list.
Yeah.
And we even got to hear and thought, well, maybe somebody's gonna say, do we need someone on, any of these, and we can just take it off.
Okay,
But
so you
we thought these were important.
Okay, I have a question, and I'm sorry I didn't do the research on this. I'm confused about what the design advisory committee does that would be separate from the Randstad building.
Oh, they are two totally different boards. The design advisory committee is all just, it's not, it's not an elected, it's a
Yeah,
appointed thing. And it's very specific types of people though. So it's like they are, an architect, lawyer, I can't remember who all but it's very cherry picked as far as the type of people who should be on it. And there's an interior, I think, one designer, Karen Clark, I think is on it. And it's about all town buildings, and it's a much more general kind of design.
I thought they reviewed even private projects. Right?
They what?
Oh, that's a good question. Maybe they do. That they review private projects as well.
Because I had the same
I don't
question.
think that they're, I don't
So I
think
know
they're an
that there are
approving,
agendas.
I don't think that they're an approving board.
Like say, a business wants to put a mural on the face of their building or something.
Mhm.
would it be this committee that,
Yes, I think so.
And actually, this was meant, this should have had a space here. Because what we did was these were the top ones.
I'm sorry.
Remember what, these were the top ones and the last three.
Eileen has her hand up.
Oh, okay, so, anyway, there was supposed to be a space here. These last three, we felt were not as important as the other ones. So I think maybe we could do some, learn a little
So
more
the-
about the design advisory committee. But yeah, does, Eileen want to say something?
Should we recognize her?
She might be providing information.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, probably, she always. has
Eileen?
information.
All right. On the design, I'm sorry about my voice. Apparently sitting
Great.
here for a while. I'm not drinking enough water or something and my voice dries up. The
Oh, sorry.
not- the Design Advisory Committee reviews applications, I'm sorry, for all actions that are subject to the provisions of their town bylaw and works cooperatively with owners of land, buildings, and businesses. Shall make recommendations to the appropriate decision-making body and or the applicant concerning compliance with the proposed action to the design review standards in the bylaws. There's a lot more, but that's,
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
you know,
Um,
since it's the first few minutes of the meeting, you have not had active video.
We don't know why it's frozen.
We don't know why. It's,
We're just relieved that the audio is getting through.
Audio is fine.
yeah,
We don't know
Yeah,
why
it
it's
froze
frozen.
up.
The
and I
Wi-Fi's
didn't,
fine.
and I didn't want to mess with it because I didn't want to lose the audio.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll figure that out.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
so, so can I ask anybody if they feel compelled to, be,
Well, I'll tell you that last year I went to the Community Preservation Committee organizing meetings. The first one was held in September, and then they had another one in October, and they were reviewing the guidance. But then after that, mostly what they're doing is meeting to discuss the applications.
Right.
So if you would like somebody to attend those organizing meetings, I'd be happy to do that.
On the conservation preservation.
It's community preservation committee.
yes,
It's not conservation. I thought that's just a typo.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
But I'm happy to do that because it was all on Zoom and it's really organizational, but it's nice to know where to prioritize.
Yeah, no, I
So,
think
yeah.
it's really
So
important.
if no one else wants
And,
to do
well,
it.
and it's funny, that is one of the ones I had myself
Oh,
as a potential, but again, we're hoping to appoint 2 people for each of these to
yeah.
make sure
and
that there's backup.
if two other people want to do it, I'm perfectly happy to step back.
Is anybody else interested in, CPC? Okay, so, for now, we'll, just making notes. Finance Committee. Don't everybody, step up at once.
I think it's really important.
I agree.
that we Go to FinCom, and I think they are going to start meeting soon. And I know that the last, in the last organization at FinCom, this was actually when Phil Ornstein was still in the board, Malena,
Yeah,
Rich Geyer, they're all going.
right.
When I gave the presentation to them that I also gave to the select board, hearing our funding, and letting them know where libraries stood vis-a-vis our peer libraries and our surrounding libraries. I think it had a lot of impact. So I think, I do think that, well, organizing to meet regularly with FinCom to be delegated, I wonder if you guys might think about.
I was
developing
actually,
a
yes, I
presentation
thought that,
for both of them, for select board
yeah,
and.
select board and FinCom, I thought that those would be. two.
And then if you want to, again, I could raise my hand if you want to fit alternates.
So I'll put,
But
I'll
I
put
think
my,
that, I do think that you guys might wanna. Do something to set the financial straight.
Okay, so actually, I think I want to skip for a moment because we actually had a big conversation about this the other day, about the Historic Commission Society. The Ramsdale Building Committee, so we do need
One more.
one more person. And, but let me think about this. So no, but we don't have a chair. Right?
The building-
We don't need a chair, right?
No,
We
we
just
don't.
need two people
We
from,
need one more
the board.
trustee.
right.
Right, Pat's
Right.
standing to be reappointed, so we need one.
So you're already on there. So
Yeah.
who would you recommend? Do you have someone you
Well,
would recommend?
the common practice, hate to say it, is chair, which makes a lot of sense because then you're already a liaison. I mean, you're already in the thick of it.
Okay,
So
right.
it's just, it should be, and you guys
all
probably
right, well,
split it.
I mean, I
There's-
would,
there's a lot of
alternate.
meetings.
well, can we do that? I don't know if that's.
Can we
is that
alternate?
I
mandated?
think
Why
we'll have
not?
to
The
ask
chair.
Liz Hartsburg. You'll have to ask Liz if you.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if we can do that. I'll put my name in there, to start, and then we can find out whether it's something
Yeah,
that we
yeah.
can alternate with. But I'm happy to do that. Houstonic Improvement Committee.
Yeah.
Donna, I know that you already tend to go to those meetings.
I do, yeah, I go to those. My thought though, as liaison, we're not necessarily expected to speak, correct? Or are we?
No, you are not expected to speak.
You're
You're just
No,
there
you're reporting
attending
back.
and
You just
reporting
report
back to us.
on what's going
Okay, okay.
Yes.
And you haven't, I don't know if there's anything that we've already sort of covered, and none of it is written in stone. Is there anything here already that you?
I attend the
thinking
commission, the
about?
historic commission meetings. I do go there.
Okay.
I think it's nice to have a nice relationship with people there. They need to know who the library people are. Because of the conflict.
Sure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's just a building bridge kind of thing. So I would do that. But now it depends on schedule because the HIC I usually cannot go to because I work on the nights that they meet.
Oh,
I'm
right.
happy to.
Okay, so Pat will do that. I'll go when I can.
At HIC? Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And Donna, Historic Commission?
Yeah, so now, but let's go back for a minute. Can we just jump to planning board, and then I'll tell you the reason why I wanna do
Is
this.
Milton still on that? Planning board?
On the planning board? I don't know who's on the planning board. Do we know who's on the planning board?
I know quite a few of
I guess-
them. Brenda Wilson is still the chair. That nice woman. So what's her first name? Jane. She comes to the high school meetings sometimes. Kane. Or
It's not Kate Van Alst.
No, Kane.
Jackie Kane.
Jackie Kane, thank
Yeah,
you.
she's new.
She was just elected.
Mhm.
Jeremy Higa,
Okay.
Jonathan Rankin,
Right,
Hankin,
Right.
Pedro,
Okay.
I don't know the picture.
Pachano.
I think is his name.
Yeah.
And,
He's not-
Malcolm Thick was on the board, but he stepped down and that's the seat Jackie was just elected to.
okay.
There might be one person I'm forgetting, but they're a congenial group of people, I think. But I don't know how much what's the thought about how it really connects.
Eileen has her hand up again. Maybe she's can help us. Oh, wait.
Jeremy,
There she is.
Yes.
Jeremy Higa, Higa.
Yeah. Or you just wanted to let us know?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Okay, thank you. So,
Planning board's not.
yeah, no. So, would anybody love to go to planning board meetings?
Do you think, I mean, do you think that, that we might want to ask this after we find out whether the town planner is going to be added to the building committee? Because then who's ever on the building committee might have,
The town planner on the building committee?
wasn't that one of the options Liz was thinking about?
I'm not sure I caught that, but was it with the Ramsdale building committee, not just the building committee at large? that
Well,
she
it was a
wants to
general
form?
conversation.
It was a general
It was
conversation
about-
about whether planning would become a component of that, right?
But, something just occurred to me, sorry to interrupt your thought, but we have a new trustee starting. Right?
Right.
So, given. Do we assign him? Given
I
his
think-
background?
I think we can do that, and I think we even mentioned that we were gonna be
Yes,
doing this. We haven't put him on anything yet.
given his experience and background, I don't know, I mean, planning. Seems like that would be a good one for him for some reason, like,
All right, well, and none of us are stepping up, so I say let's put him in there.
I have to admit that when I think about the agenda for that committee, I don't think it often touches on,
libraries.
on the kinds of things that we're involved with. And they do a lot of zoning reconsideration, overlay districts, approval of, big projects in town. So it might be, instead of overselling it, it might be that we would ask him to monitor the agenda and go whenever,
Oh, good.
Right,
there's
yes. Okay.
Well,
something
and
that's
again, I think, this, like, some of these, I don't think someone has to go every single.
Oh, you don't? Oh, I thought. we
No,
were
I mean,
saying
it
that
would
to
be-
go.
No,
No,
I think it would be great, but if
Again,
it's
not-
really.
like you said, that's what we were thinking, monitor the agenda, and if you saw something
okay.
that was relevant to the
Oh, okay.
library.
Oh, well, that makes.
Yeah,
a lot
and
of
I think with the
sense, yeah.
planning board, they might not have been very involved, but I think going forward, I think it's good. I think the library is gonna come up
Yeah,
with that.
and maybe the parking.
And so I
even-
think that
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
when it will be
Exactly.
Yeah,
important for us to have someone go into those.
that's a good point, thank you.
All right, so now, okay. I have always been under the impression, but I've never understood it completely. We know that we have the Historic District Commission. We know what that is. And we've always been calling it the Historic Society or the Historical Society, but then there's the Historical Commission. But is the Historical Commission and the Historic Society one and the same?
No.
Or there really are three?
Separate. There are
Okay,
three separate
But
things.
there are not three of them on the town website as,
Because the Historical Society is a 501c3, it's not a town.
It's a private.
they're just a private.
Yeah. They're a nonprofit charity.
That's the part that I just couldn't.
But you know why it's confusing is that there's so much overlap
Yeah.
between
There
the
is.
two.
There's overlap.
That it's hard to
It
distinguish
is,
them.
and so
Yes.
that's why I wanted to save this for last to make sure, because then there's really three entities for the historic part of this, and do we actually need to be involved with all three of them, or is there one or two that we feel are the more important? Because, it's a big thing about what's upstairs.
And that's the
Ramsdale is
historic
not
commission.
in the historic district.
I would say that again?
Ramsdale is not in the historic.
Yes, I know that, right, so is the Great Barrington Historic District Commission gonna have anything to say?
I don't think so.
No,
Because all right, we did talk about that we're not, the building is historic, but the district is not.
The historic commission
Right.
comments because of MHC.
Okay,
Right.
right.
okay,
I live in the historic district where I used to be, and so anytime we wanted to install a fence, make any exterior alterations,
Right.
and not because the town, but because of where our house was situated. So they got involved with Mason because it's in the historic district
right.
and stairs,
The
right?
steps.
And
Oh, yeah,
so
that was,
the district commission. Yes, yes.
I was at all those meetings.
I think we could, maybe the person who's active could monitor the
Yeah.
agenda, but I will tell you that one time I went to their meeting because I thought they were going to be discussing a library project. But they build their agenda where they always list all of their open projects, so but they might not
to
take them
discuss.
up. So I think it's just to give them the leeway to possibly take it up, so
So you think we're safe without that?
I think so.
Okay. So, all right, so then we have the historical commission and we have the historical society. And they are two different things, right? As you're saying, the society is just a nonprofit, which,
Think of the museum.
Right.
Think of the little museum.
oh, yeah,
There you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
well, yeah, except also upstairs.
In the museum is there's the archives.
Yes.
Okay, and whether those belong to the society or the commission is
Is
not.
it
clear.
both?
It's both.
There's
That's-
space.
Space.
Right.
This is part of the,
Yes.
this is part of the question.
Yeah,
right.
They
So I
asked.
think that having liaisons to both of those committees, I actually think is really important. I just was hoping to get the historic commission off the list, and we did.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Well, you all went to their meeting.
yeah, that was
Do
so
they
fun.
meet at Wheeler House? Is
Yeah.
that- And
Right.
that is also where the society meets.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
So.
Yeah, do they both meet? I know the society meets there. Does
And the
commission meet
commission,
there as well?
commission,
They do.
yes.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a very confusing conflation of,
I'm sorry, I just didn't.
yeah, that's bad. Yeah, these chairs get a
So,
little.
I've been sitting all day.
yeah,
It's 7:44, so
Okay.
let's,
So those are the two that. I
so what do we
think
have? Why
to
don't we
just figure out.
summarize what we have so far?
All right, we have the CPC, we have,
Well, who has volunteered?
that's what I was getting to. We
Okay,
have the CPC, and we have Lauren and Sharon. We have the Finance Committee, we have,
wait, Lauren, you?
yes,
Okay.
Lauren and Sharon. The Finance Committee, we have Sharon and Laura.
Right,
The Ramsdale Building Committee, we have Pat and Lauren. And the Houstonic Improvement Committee, we have Pat. And we don't have a second, but
I think Don said.
I will, but I.
yeah, and so that's fine.
as the
Yeah,
alternate,
and
okay.
I don't think that is so, we should. Planning Board, we're putting Russell on,
Hoping Russell, yeah,
and hopefully he'll be down with that. And so.
and the select board will
The
be the
select
chair.
board will be the chairs and
We'll figure that
anybody
out,
else who
right.
wants to, and Donna
Yeah,
wants to
I
go.
go to them and I would not be speaking about the library citizen speak
Right.
about so many other topics.
Right,
So-
If I
right,
need to
right,
complain
exactly.
about affordable housing, and water.
Right.
so are we going to just also skip the design advisory, or what did we decide on?
what did we decide?
I think we didn't really decide. I don't know that it's that important after the discussion.
Only we sporadically, it's like when something comes up,
Right,
looking for approval.
right, and again, yeah, 'cause some of these, I mean, it's not like they meet every month or every month, so. And so we did not do anything about the library fund, because I still don't understand everything that's going on with all of it, so maybe we
Take
table
that
that
off
one
the
for now.
list for now.
Do you think it would be possible for you to ask the chair of that board for an update on the membership list and when they're meeting? And then we can talk about it next time. It's kind of hard to.
Yeah.
To know what to do.
Okay, um. Okay, so Historical Commission and Historical Society, I have Laura and Donna down there, but that was previously, Laura had mentioned it, but I don't know whether you still think.
Yeah, I'll be the alternate, certainly.
Okay, and then, the Historical Commission. Well, we could maybe, get Russell.
Yeah, we're talking about the commission.
Okay, oh, not the society. Oh, I put you in the wrong
The
place.
commission is,
The commission is the
Is the-
town.
is the
Yeah,
big
and the
one.
society.
If we were going to the society, I think we'd have to think about becoming members, so, wouldn't it?
I think we should start off with going to the commission,
Okay,
right? Which is what you go to.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. And get to know the.
Don't just get to know them, and then we'll sort of get to know a little bit more about what the difference is and then whether or not on a need to know basis, if there's something that the society then takes up.
It's all very weird. I
Right.
read it, I read their mandates and, it's the way I interpreted it, this commission is doing what the society is supposed to do and the society's doing.
yeah, I know.
Right,
Yeah, the commission is not supposed to be responsible for archives. Yeah,
right.
so they do what they want.
They do what they want.
I think it's because they're all
Yeah,
same
same
personnel.
And they've been
It's
there
the
for,
same,
you know,
it's the same
they've
members.
been there for
Same
all time.
members.
Yeah.
So for our
Okay, we'll
purposes,
sift
we'll,
through.
yes. Take that, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, Russell.
Okay, so are we,
Library policy updates.
Okay, should I move on?
yes, definitely, I think.
All right, so on back, right, just status, I just put this in, Dawn, because you and I were talking about getting together and doing
Did
another
I send you my
policy.
draft?
Absolutely,
Oh, so the thing is, we talked about the draft, but
oh, no, you did not, did you ask me that, what did you say? Did you send me?
the policy, I did do a draft.
Okay,
I'll send it to you.
okay,
But the problem is, our current meeting room policy conflicts with the town's building use policy.
oh,
And I think that really our mission is different than the town when it comes to building use. So I need to talk to Liz about it, and I wrote to her about it. I can't remember if I included the draft or not. I might have included the old policy, which is very old. It's from like 2012. And asked for advice on what to do. And I didn't hear anything, but I am meeting with her on Tuesday. And it's on my list.
okay, so you'll let me know.
I will let
if
you
there's-
know. And
Okay,
you don't think I sent you the draft?
I did not get, no, I did not get it.
So I'll send that to you.
Can I ask a question? We found out about the policies in the B code just a couple of months ago, that they have not been updated. Could you also,
Those can't be updated until 10. According to Josh. and
What are we
Liz.
talking about today?
well, can you explain what's going on with the policies?
There is this part on the town website called E-code.
E-code?
Yes.
E-code. And I don't know how Sharon found it, but she was saying, can you change this, the
Oh, it
bylaws?
was our bylaws, which we had
Yeah.
adopted 2 years ago, and I submitted. that we had
But there's a lot of
submitted,
our policies there,
But they still had the old ones, and
They're
that's kind of what started this.
many, many years out of date.
Many years.
So I looked at all the departments and they're all, they're many years out of date. Apparently this E-code is a service that the town pays for. I guess it's like a platform, you know, like Acibet or something.
Yeah.
And, so I went back and forth with Josh a little bit, and it sounds like they can't just change them willy-nilly. It has to be changed once a year, so it would be at town meeting. So we would have to get all of our stuff together and give it to him, and he would include it in the next update, I guess. But in the meantime, I talked to Liz about it, and it doesn't mean that our newer policies are not valid.
Oh,
What
Oh,
makes,
okay, good.
what makes the policies that we have now valid is not whether or not they're on E-code. What makes them valid is the minutes or the record of them being
Okay,
approved by the board.
okay,
okay,
okay, good.
that's good to know. So
That was very good to know.
So,
Yeah,
so it's fine to do more policies.
it's fine, yes.
And we've got
Okay.
to figure out how many and in what state need to be submitted before town meeting next year.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, that's a relief.
That was quite a relief, because when
Yeah.
I saw that, I said, oh my gosh, they were so old, these folks. There was, fines on there and all kinds of things. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
The only other thing under old business is the book delivery program that that we're going to postpone that. It was just something that I thought about and started researching several months ago, but, it's just not the right time for it
With everything else
with
going on.
everything else, so that will move to a later date. Last new business.
Okay, so, yeah, and, the conversation about increasing, we spoke about this at one of the meetings here, where we would have to increase the size of the board by 3. And how that gets done, it's similar, I was in the E-codes as well, because what it would mean not only changing our own bylaws that pertain to membership and terms, but also changing the town bylaws, because in the town bylaws, it outlines or speaks to in the E32 code, how many, the formation of the trustees and membership. So, well, I spoke to Josh about this, and he said he thinks it might be a question for town council, that if we want to change the membership of the board and increase it from 3 to 9, or 6 to 9, it would need to be voted in a town meeting. So the work would have to, work would need to be done prior to and submitted and put on the warrant and approved. But Josh wasn't prepared to say any more than that. I'm thinking it's a discussion also for ourselves before we start deciding we're doing this. We might talk about doing it. And when we were talking about who are going to be the liaisons, and we were saying there are more committees than there are people, there's a lot of work here. And you guys are going to be doing a lot of work. But in a year from now, if there were 9 people on this committee, would you all consider that manageable and viable and a reason for it? Other than helping carry books down to the party in the park?
We talked about this
A lot.
last year, 2 years ago. We've been, discussing this for a long time. And I don't think anybody has thought that it was a bad idea.
Okay,
I think it's just another project
yes,
to get to that point.
okay.
And
Honestly, excuse me, but I always thought that certainly when I ran 3 years ago, 3+ years ago, I felt Sharon and we both ran together. And I felt like there was little interest of other people, joining and running.
there is that.
there's something, and maybe it's because Andrea and Russell both stepped up, and I feel like maybe that's changed, and maybe it would not be so hard to have people be interested on the ballot. You know, Russell said today when we were talking to him, I asked him why he was interested, and he said that he's friends with Rio, who is the young the new finance committee. He says, yeah, Rio, and I said to myself, what can I do? You know, so a little thing, but I thought maybe there is a little trend starting. Maybe there's a spark
Yeah, well, I
starting.
mean, you don't know. I mean, and there was the young woman who I was, mentoring who didn't end
Yeah,
up
so
getting
I
the ballot.
don't get
And
the
she was
sense that it
definitely
would be,
interested.
I think that it's certainly worth, going down the road, you know, and investigating and doing what we have to do.
I was thinking about this after I saw it was on the agenda, and I think it would be really useful for us because I also, you know, was amenable to it and maybe even interested in it. But as I became more and more aware of our duties and our limitations, I started to think that maybe the first thing we should do is list all the reasons why we want more trustees and make sure that what we want to do is really our job, or whether it's something that needs to be done with other
A
groups.
different way.
And I wonder if we could put that on the agenda to like
No,
all
what
of us.
do you mean by that?
That's good.
Well, like what,
Of like other groups?
what's the work that we want to accomplish?
What do we
that
need?
feel
No,
Three more
I
people
get that, I
trustees?
get
Yeah.
that part, but I didn't understand the part about, or maybe it should be other groups. What
Well,
was
it
that?
might not be our job. We might be prescribed from doing certain things. So it
Do you
might be
mean
that we want,
from forming a larger
Not
board? I think
no,
maybe
no.
we can do that.
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
But, you know, there are limits on the amount that we can advocate for a position. We can promote and provide good information, but then you get into campaign finance and all those issues. So, do we want strong advocacy? Well, is that something we want on the trustees, or is that something we're looking for in an affiliate group? So I thought if we could list all of
Okay,
our
that's what you're
reasons, and I'm not even
Yeah.
prejudging them, but if we could go
That's a
through
good
that
idea.
process and then figure out whether, and if you
It
know,
makes sense.
if you know that we want all these things done, that's the reason
That's
to
the
take to
reason.
the town
Right.
and get the,
Right.
you know, the
Right.
go ahead.
Yeah, thank
Well,
you.
I think
That's-
if we want to go ahead with it, right, your idea is good. And then we've got until a little bit before town meeting to
Decide
have a
whether
good reason to take it to town meeting with the idea that we want it to pass, and so with good reason for it to pass.
And we have to decide whether that isn't too much in town. I mean, we
Right.
have a lot of
Right,
strategies.
because we got a
We're gonna
lot
have
going on
lot
this
going
year.
on in town meeting.
But that would be the good, they
That
could
would
say
be good.
yes.
And there's no money involved.
Exactly, and they could say yes, and they could see that
But
they're,
we don't want them to say yes to one thing and not give some permission to say no to the big thing.
Yeah.
Right, but
Yeah.
usually, I mean, saying yes wouldn't harm anything. In
We don't-
fact,
I don't think
if we
so.
can,
If we can prove
if we can
that we
package
need,
it as,
right,
as we're doing all these things with the libraries, and specifically with this library, we have this big thing, more members on this board would be really helpful
well, now that I think about it, I
to
think that this
everyone
is a good
as a
time.
whole,
I
as a
think
whole
it's a
thing.
good time to do this, though, because the Ramsdale, you know, potentially will increase and have more, there's more, you know,
I was just,
reason.
I was delving into a lot of different, communities that have more than one library, community branch, and a main library and a branch library. And in a lot of them, the board has, a set ratio, like, you know, a certain proportion of the board members will be from whatever the community is serving the branch library. So there might be some other things we want to take up
Sure.
rather than just numbers. We
Yeah.
might
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
get composition.
Yeah, composition, right.
But I'd just like to make sure that these are really trustee jobs
Mhm.
that we're looking for.
Well, that is, yeah.
Well,
Instead of
sort of
just-
this whole conversation about all these town boards and liaisons is, I think, a good reason just to look at, okay, we've had to go through this and everyone has had to take on a lot. And with more people on the board. And again, I think it's sort of with all that's, that we're gonna be doing between now and we're gonna presume that we are actually doing this renovation. There's,
Years.
you know, it's a lot of time and having 3 more people
Might be a good thing.
involved would be really.
Yeah, but I guess I would like to have us
Have it in
really solidify what are our.
Okay,
Yeah.
and we can do that, and I think
Yeah,
we can do
I
that.
think it's a good
Even
idea.
in the
I think it's a good
bylaws, there's a
process.
job here that none of us has been able really to do, and that's oversee the Friends. And ensure its continuation and success.
That's right. I just read all of that the other day, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to.
The
talk about
board will
Friends.
appoint an initial steering committee. I mean, we could really, all due respect to Holly,
Mhm.
but she's not the final
No.
decision maker on the
course.
composition.
I
of the
No,
committee.
not
appreciated her
absolutely
coming,
not at
though.
all.
I
Yeah.
really appreciated her
No,
coming.
getting
and
her feedback was good,
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
but that's why under
That's
new
one
business,
job, yeah.
they're launching this, subcommittee to expand the Friends. It's a lot of what that's about.
Right, that's another job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are we gonna put liaison to Friends on that list for?
I didn't really think of it so much as a liaison
They don't
as.
meet.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
do not have meetings.
yeah, they don't have
Holly
meetings.
told me they don't have meetings.
They don't have meetings.
They have events.
I mean, right now, I don't know if we want to make it official. I would say in an ad hoc sense. I have already been putting out feelers. And I feel pretty committed to getting more friends and people who actually really want to do things. And in fact, I do think that the Friends should be a fundraising arm. They can fundraise. They just don't really. They
More
sell
than the
some-
books.
Right, and they do these, the different, events, which is great,
Mhm.
but they can fundraise.
They can do
for
more.
us,
Well,
and they're not.
they,
And in fact, Ed, they said, when was it, Pat?
They were real clear.
When we first said that we thought that we needed a foundation, we needed a fundraising arm for this project, they were very clear, we are not doing that fundraising. That was 2 people who made that executive decision to not do it, and I think that,
well, when I talked to
we've got,
Ed a couple of times about it, and I think that they are very happy running the Friends program.
As they are.
And,
yeah.
but he said that he was certainly amenable to having other people join the ones to increase membership and to manage membership.
Right.
But
Well-
that was not, they didn't have the bandwidth themselves.
Right, and they
So
didn't,
I
and
think that
absolutely,
they're
there
open
were
to
just the 2 of us.
Was really surprised that.
Yeah.
Van Hollen stayed to say her piece
Yeah.
on that. Like, it was
Yeah.
good.
Well,
I
it-
think
it's
it's
really-
important to remind ourselves what we already know.
Uh,
that they-
yeah, yeah.
The Friends do a lot for the library.
And they do, exactly,
Absolutely.
exactly.
But we need more friends, and, so if we want to have a committee of a few people working on it together, I think that would be really great. If no one's ready to commit to something like that for now, I'm out there. So we can take this up at another meeting. It's 8
I think
o'clock.
I have a
I really
question,
don't.
since I brought this up. I'm willing to pursue the process for increasing the size of the board. I know we've jumped over to
Yeah.
increasing the size of
Right,
Friends.
Right.
But getting back to the topic, I can go further, with either of you or by or however, to see what's involved. I know we would have to rewrite our bylaws and we have to propose to the town that they rewrite the town's
You're
bylaws.
talking about for trustees.
Yes,
Yeah.
increasing the size of trustees.
Yeah, which I think is, I mean, we can change our bylaws, We can change our bylaws
Yes,
by
there's a
the consent,
process.
yeah.
And there's a process,
Yeah, so-
and, so I'm glad to pursue that.
So I think, okay, for next meeting, I would ask that you do that and report back.
Okay,
That would be helpful.
okay.
And as far as, you know, my feeling, as far as the friends, I think we made a lot of assignments.
Mhm.
You know, at this meeting, and I think maybe we should just sit with that and see where that goes for right now.
Yep,
That would be my
totally
feeling.
agree.
But I also think that, Ed will be back.
Yeah.
At the end of July.
And maybe we'll meet
And I
with
think
him
in
and,
August, it
Might be a
might
good
be
idea.
really nice for the two of you to meet with
Right.
Ed and
Absolutely.
have a good
Right.
discussion.
and certainly not do anything without
He's-
him. without-
Well, he's the president.
Right, of
I mean,
course, of course.
I can tell you, she's an officer. I'm pretty sure her role is treasurer, clerk treasurer.
Oh, we still don't know.
I've made a note of that. I had it on the tip of my tongue 3 times, but Holly kept talking, and so
Yeah, but I think.
I
we should
didn't
really
get to
get this
ask.
up with
Oh,
her.
absolutely. Yes.
Okay, great.
But, you know,
Okay.
all of that was part of the MOUs that Liz is.
Yes, I
still
understand. I
doing.
have that, right, I know that.
So do we
Uh,
have citizens speak?
Citizen speak. We have, James Barzone here, but I don't see his hand up. No citizen speak. Eileen? Did you want to say anything else?
No,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for staying with us, Eileen.
And if there's no other trustees speak,
Yeah, so let me give you one of these here. Joe, for you. This is from Hanson Library, which just went through their town meeting, got their money. And what you see here is this is a list of the monthly outreach things, newsletter that they did to the public. There's 14 of them, which means if you looked at their schedule, we're behind by 2 months. These were done by the OPM.
Yeah.
It wasn't done by the town. So the thing is, the OPMs we have are not gonna do it. They're not doing it for the other libraries that they're private equity firms. And they just basically try to keep their expenses down.
Yeah, I think Anthony.
Didn't Hanson's fail?
No,
I thought Hanson, Yarmouth, and
Hanson, Yarmouth,
Otis.
Otis with the three.
no, it's just, no, it was on their Facebook page. They combined it. It was a weird thing how they did it, but let me see if I can find it.
Freetown was the one that had a combo building.
Yeah,
Freetown.
no, Hanson, I've been following them because they've done a great job on their outreach. If you look on Facebook,
Well, unless they failed based on their newsletter push, I would say this all still looks like good stuff to do.
Yeah, and I think.
well, somebody.
should-
Do you know what I'm saying? Whether
No, I
they failed or
totally
not.
agree, but I think
Maybe we need to find out for sure about
Well,
Hanson.
they.
and not have it
maybe
in
this
here.
would be a good outline for us.
While we're in here, I looked it up
Yeah,
again. so-
absolutely. Absolutely.
Let's see if I can find it.
Okay,
thank you.
Okay.
But so anyway, I think it's a conversation because, and I did get a hold of Rob Cullen.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yes.
And he doesn't have, he did actually the one in Hudson, Mass, which is also in the program. So he's not sure what his schedule is yet, but I think it would be we're gonna need to have somebody do this. It needs to be a professional that can
Right.
gain the confidence of the public. So-
Rob Cullen.
Put this
Yeah.
on, we can't. do
Can
this.
I just ask you, Pat, just as a procedural thing?
Yeah.
If you would send me and Lauren, you know, like your feedback to the agenda, when I send the agenda out, if
Yeah,
you would
this
say,
But I'd say this for the end, so to put it on the next meeting.
Okay, that's. what-
okay,
that's what I was
okay,
thinking.
oh, I see, okay, great. Because to have, just to open up the conversation
so
at
this-
this point. is-
Yeah, no, it was just to give you this
Gotcha.
information.
Right, okay, thank you.
In
All right,
keeping
so
with
can
the
we-
topic of outreach, though, just to add to the discussion, I just want to mention that website. that Dawn is overseeing, and I guess Betsy is updating the library website.
Yeah.
Is wonderful. It looks.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
thank
much
you.
better.
Yes,
And
yes.
these things are going like hotcakes.
Yeah.
I was in the paint store and I ran into a woman. I said, "You're local?" She said, and because I was in my bag, and I said, "Oh, look what I got one. I got one of these." And she took it. She said, "Oh yeah, I got to read through my books."
Yeah.
I said, "Well, this is your direct link.
Yeah.
You don't have to type in an address.
Right,
You just aim and shoot."
Right.
So these are.
Yeah.
this way.
No, they're great.
I know.
Yeah, I've been giving them out at the gallery.
Have you? And we have plenty of these.
We have 1,000 of them.
Well, they,
We
I hope
can
they-
always reprint.
And we could always read it.
Yes.
Yes, I hope we need to reprint.
Okay, because this is my last one then.
Well, there's a pile over there.
I'm gonna take, yeah, okay.
So
Okay,
can we
I
move to?
wanted to,
Oh.
I just want to have a little trustee speak, sorry. And so
Oh.
first of all, I think you guys did a great job, thank you, and I'm looking forward to working with you.
Oh, thank
Um,
you. I'm hoping we can keep
And
it a little
I
shorter
wanted to
next time.
say, just this afternoon, I met again with the group of people doing the Housatonic walking tour. And Marilyn Bisowitz is on the committee, and she and I are gonna have lunch about another thing, because she's a font of information.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, I hope that makes things, she seems lovely. She's on.
Yeah.
My son's kindergarten teacher.
Oh, is she?
Kindergarten, first grade, I mean, yeah, teacher.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, but thank you too, and it was lovely.
Yeah, yes, thank you.
So I make a motion to, I don't have to make a motion to adjourn. I move to adjourn the meeting at
8:12.
8:12. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.